And we are live. Welcome to the after show party. Patrick's after show party. Hey, 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 good people. All right, all right. So, when you guys join me, let's see. I'll go ahead and get the invite here. There's the link to join me. And thank you, Patrick, for going live and having all of us there on your show. We had some really good talks, some really good questions, some really good people in the chat. It's always great to get together with everybody like we just did, and quality over quantity. Of course, I wish everybody was on board and a member of our community and on the same page as we are. But anyway, hey, Terra Nova Truth. Good morning. Good morning to you. It is 3:08 here in the morning. I'm still up because I did work today, and then I came home and was relaxing, and I saw a truck for sale that I wanted to buy, a Suburban, and so I drove into Alabama and bought that Suburban and drove home, and then I was just wide awake, and I joined Patrick's show where Rick was. Rick's joining us. Hey, Rick.
How you doing?
And anyway, so we had some good talks over there, Terra Nova. So we'll get a few people. Oh, dang, Jennifer, I didn't even see your comment until just a second ago. Wow, that's weird. Was it not? Huh? It just because I saw Tara as I thought was the first.
Yeah, I didn't see her either.
Well,
Yeah,
hey, Jennifer. Glad you made it over, Jennifer. Good to see you. Good to see you. I look so white on camera, but I'm tan. I'm still tan from summer. But I look like Casper the Ghost with this lighting. But let's see if you can probably see. But anyway, so we got the boy Nietzsche in the house. Hello, hello, hello. Hey, hey, hey.
What's happening?
Yeah, man. All right, all right. We got Matt Pyman. Woo! All right, all right. Okay.
Voynich, have you smoked any of that you showed earlier?
Yeah, do tell. How'd you dry it out? Naturally, or when you wanted to try it? I mean, okay, yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, I mean, is the potency there? Is the taste there? Yeah, come on, don't be scared.
Yeah, man. There's no, it's not as tasty as you would buy it. Like it's not really that.
But that might come with age, because I found that it's like fine wine.
Yeah,
it's like
that's
yeah.
true. And it's still we had
Curing.
like yeah. Well, the plants, they are all in a different stage actually. They're not all the same apparently.
Right.
So one is a bit more ripe than the other. So I have to choose them. But then again, the weather is turning worse. We had a great last 10 days full of sun, and they really needed that. And they're still bursting. And but yeah, I have to regulate it. But now I'm smoking the fluff that I took away, just to make the energy go to the big buds. So
Right.
as for now, I haven't still smoked the big buds yet. But the fluffy parts, so let them dry. And yeah, my mini trolley.
That's funny.
That's for a small shop. That's just for.
I'm surprised you have one of those, because you hate to use one in the market, right?
Right? I tell you something. I got
That's not all. I hate trolleys.
Look, here's the tiny one.
Oh my gosh! Oh wow, that's ridiculous.
I got two big ones. I got two big ones and a small one.
Wow,
That's a two apple trolley, mate. That's full on that one.
that's funny. That is too much.
That is funny.
I should take this with me, right? When people, why don't you have
that's
a trolley? Oh, I do have a fucking trolley, dude.
Put like a grape in it.
You put one onion in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
put a grape
Yeah,
in
that's
it.
good.
Like,
You know, the other day this
goodness.
this guy comes attacking me with a trolley, with his shopping cart, because I was in line, and he said, "Why don't you have a shopping cart?" And I looked at him like, "Dude, are you standing in line?" He said, "No, I'm in the other line." I said, "Oh, you come over to this line to tell me?" He said, "Yes." I said, "You're fucking funny, dude." And I started laughing like,
Yeah, that's
I remember the one time they told me that I couldn't enter into the market unless I took a cart. That
So
only happened to me once here, but yeah, that did happen to me.
this is a pretty good solution if they have that rule.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, Matt Pyman just dropped out by accident.
Man, I need to, and you know this shopping cart regime has been lowered down in my country, but there's still places where you need a shopping cart. So I should just stick this in my pocket, right?
Crazy. I mean, that is so.
And if they say no, you need a big one, then I'm gonna show them this one. Okay, I brought my big one.
Yeah, here's a bigger one.
Crazy, man.
Dude, I could even go roller skating in these if I try. Just
Your ankle.
where do you find those?
well, I don't know, man. Those were for sale somewhere. They were in this advertisement, and my mother and sister were going there. And I said, "Wow, if they still have those," I said, "I want some of those." I said, "The big one and the small one," and so they bought me this one. And you know, everybody that comes to my house tells me like, "Dude, where the fuck did you get that?" But for me, I always use. There's also this tiny trolleys for kids, right, in the stores.
Mm-hmm.
And I used one of those, and I decorated the contours of it with a light string, you know. And so I hang it out of my balcony every Christmas. That was my symbol for Christmas. My symbol for Christmas was this shopping cart, and I thought it was much better than anything else, actually, because this is what people do when Christmas comes. They fill up their shopping carts, and it's like the most important thing.
That's sad.
Well, it was just an observation, and
Uh-oh.
Hold on. Sorry, I hit the wrong button.
Uh-oh.
You there?
5 pointage. That's it. You're done.
I was trying to exit the solo thing. Sorry.
No, I mean, you have a good point there, Voynich. It is the truth. And it's,
yeah,
that's what I was talking about earlier. Like before this, I was talking about the propaganda about, you know, what's going on with the 19 and how before this propaganda, we were, you know, Americans were taught to shop, you know, and that's what led Christmas down the wrong road, the American, you know, way.
Yeah.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
How things were, you know, the propaganda, how things were programmed, you know. It's a sin how it was brought up that way. And it's supposed to be the Christian values too, how American was brought up, you know, that's how it was funded or founded, you could say.
Well, now
it was a bunch of Freemasons that brought it over and paganized it and all that bullshit. Yeah. That beat it down, but it was still what America was brought up on, and just like the guns too, you know, we were funded on, you know, rifles, really, war, you know. Yeah, it was all an experiment, but it was still programmed that way, in a way.
Yeah.
Well, now, all our police departments are pretty much federalized, and they're trained and taught that our founding fathers were domestic terrorists.
Oh yeah, I know.
Wow, really?
Oh
Wow.
yes, you didn't know that, boy.
Yeah.
They're
I was
literally taught that
fine.
in classes. That seriously, yeah. So
Yeah,
they hate truthers. They hate anybody that's sovereign or or like a sovereign
You
citizen.
tell me.
Yeah,
the old America is dead. It
yeah.
definitely is dead. It's been
Well,
dying.
and surrendering. It's surrendering to the
Right.
New World Order, and
Yeah.
that's why all the monuments are coming down. That's why all these things are being done. Because that's what they do when they conquer. When a nation conquers another nation, they take down their monuments and stuff. They take
Iconoclasm,
Their history.
Mhm.
Build a storm.
Go away with their history.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello, the real truth. Hello, hey. Welcome.
That's what
We
they
got
do. That's what they're doing here. That's for sure.
we got half a dozen people in here already. That's cool. Thank you for being here. Good folks.
Where'd
Ben,
man go?
Ben Flat is in the house. He lives probably 20 miles from me or less. Ben Flat. Hey. How's your recovery coming so far, Ben? Tell us. He's in a more he was closer to the storm than I was because he's more west than I am in the county. Yeah.
So he was in more of the brunt of it, though.
He could have been. I don't know. I can't remember. But he definitely should have had 100-mile-per-hour plus winds, and everything. Yep. And more. Go ahead.
Jen made a comment earlier in Patrick's chat, and I agree with it 100%. I'm not looking forward to this winter.
Yeah, see now this is falling into line too, where it says you hope that it's not in wintertime or whatever.
Right.
This could be the first winter of the mini ice age that I think is coming too. See, the sun's going to get dark, and don't forget that too at some point.
Right.
The sun is dying. See, I mean, we're all dying. Everything's dying. Technically, but they've been lying to us about how long the sun, or they don't know, but they've been telling us that it has millions of years left before it changes.
Yeah.
That's bullcrap because God's in control, and He's going to use the sun to scorch men and burn up the earth, too, because it's going to be a new heaven and new earth at some point. So, yeah, this is it. Everything is real, but see, like earlier we were talking about how they're using the Bible as a playbook. They're using Revelation as a playbook. Yeah, I mean that's exactly what they're doing, and why it's so real. It's because God said, "Look here, look what they're going to be doing in 2020 and beyond." John. And that's what we get, a vision of the future that God saw what people, the elite, were going to do in this time, and so that's why it's a vision of simply of what they were going to choose to do, and that by default makes that it appears that they're using it as a playbook, but it's their own choices, oh boy. I know it's hard to explain. I know it's hard to understand. All right, so they're doing what God already saw them do in the future. But they're using that as a playbook. It's weird,
You think they're gonna trick them? Like they're yeah, I know. I understand.
Well, see, Satan thinks that he's gonna
win prophecy. And they're trying to play it out when it's God that's really playing it out on them.
Well, it's themselves playing it out on themselves, but it's God allowing it all to happen by design, by His choice, too, but
It's pure logic, right? It's sort of like God is having a conversation with his opponent, saying, like, oh, you're going to go that way. And if you're going to go that way, first you're going to deny it. And his opponent saying, no, I'm not going to deny it. See, there you go. That's how it goes. And then you're gonna do that, and then you're gonna try to kill me, and then you're gonna do. No, I'm not gonna try to kill you. And 4 days later, he tries to kill him, right? And so God is having this conversation with, and then there's people gonna grow up with this bad attitude, and people gonna grow worse, and and that's what happened. It's sort of a logical conclusion that one thing leads to another, and if you will keep on continuing that, you will end up in this time of revelations, right? And yeah, don't make me dizzy, Tommy.
Oh boy. Yeah. So why do you smell like a skunk? Real truth. Skunk as in green skunk or real skunk? You got sprayed?
Oh, that would suck.
Hey, what happened to Mad Pieman? Is he not
I don't
coming
know.
back?
Yeah, that's what I was asking, if he was in the back, Tommy.
Well, we got Jennifer, or do we? Where is she? Let's see.
He dropped out, like, I don't know. It was like early in it, and I guess he can't get back on. I don't know.
Jennifer,
Hey.
we have Jen. Hello, how are you, dear?
Oh,
Good. What is going on?
How are your boys?
They're good.
Yes, good.
Yeah, we're doing this whole school from home thing over the computer, and like I tried to bring up the whole Mandela effect thing, but like I don't know, we were talking about spelling words, and I forget what the word was. Hold
Dilemma?
on, my
Mhm.
volume is weird. I gotta turn you guys up.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah, I'm trying out some new microphone earphone things tonight. They seem to be working okay.
yeah. I had the volume down on the laptop though. Whoa, can you like see me? Is my camera on or just my app?
no,
Yes, we see.
not
No, I'm just kidding. No,
your camera's not on. No.
no, we can't see. You can see yourself,
Looking
maybe.
great.
I don't know.
You're looking great, Jennifer.
but- Beautiful dress you're wearing. No, I don't know.
So I found out that the teachers, they believe that any spelling changes are due to political reasons, like them trying to make spelling a word easier phonetically, or like for Spanish people to learn English or something. And if you Google it, it's a thing. So you can't just say like everything is Mandela, and we already knew that anyway, but that's what the normies, quote unquote, believe, is that Mandela effect is just our term for them changing a word. Am I saying that right? Do you understand what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
I sometimes say it backwards, but yeah, in
I know what you mean. Yeah.
normie world, they think that if you spell something different, it's because you think that English is changing or something.
Yeah. That's, I don't know.
Well, if it was only the spelling, that might have been a legit argument to argue with, but it's not just spelling. That's the whole thing.
Right. Yeah. That's
Look
true.
at the classical art. Look at the creation of Adam, by Michelangelo. Look at Mona Lisa. Look at the Thinker. Come on, guys.
Oh yeah. No, I know it's real, but
Yeah.
I was just trying to introduce it to the schools, through the computer when the kids were doing the whole thing. It was the avocado. It was avocado for us because they have to do a Google slide document all about me, and then so they're doing alpha bibliographies. So for every letter, you write something about yourself or something that interests you. So I said avocado. I was trying to help my son with it, and how is it really spelt for Haas and whatever. Like
Haas. Haas.
Yeah, but now in this reality, it's
Ass. Yeah.
And she said, "Well, that's a political thing. That's not what this is about." And I was like,
What the fuck is that political?
Everything is nowadays.
Yeah, that's what they'll just throw over everything.
That's just what people tell you is political, Rick Swain. You got nothing to say about it. It doesn't even matter if you know the definition of the word.
Yeah.
And politics is a bad thing anyway.
I've never even heard of political before. What is that?
Don't you know political avocados? Talking like a rock band, man. Political avocados.
No, I don't know nothing about political avocados.
Well, I know a thing or two about Haas avocados because I worked for a huge giant produce provider here in Pensacola, and I worked in the grocery business for years too. So it was definitely HAAS.
I
Oh
do,
yeah, it was.
I do know that avocados are like the same as a woman's pregnancy. Like it's all symbolic, right? Because it's like it takes 9 months for an avocado to form or something like that.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I heard something like that. And then it's like the seed. There's something that's connected there. Avocados and you know pregnancy period.
You know about the change in the Gettysburg Address? Our forefathers is
Yep.
now our fathers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like that one threw me.
Our fathers.
What?
Yeah. But see, there's so many people that say the movie ones and the TV ones are just a psyop. You know, they're changing all that just to mess with us. But there is so many other that we know, you know, and including the Bible changes. Okay, so they didn't come take my Bible and change the print in it and bring it back to me. I mean,
Right.
no, I know my Bible's changed.
And like
You know.
they can't play that no more because it's like so many of us we remember so much. It's just like
Mhm.
that doesn't float anymore neither. That the shit's being changed, as a psyop. That just doesn't. That doesn't.
Yeah, no, I had my
fly
mom.
anymore. It just doesn't. In my book,
Now they could be running a psyop, them trying to make it, trying to get credit for the Mandela effect or something, and they could be trying to make some happen or whatever, but it's real. There is a supernatural thing to this that is definitely in play.
Right.
Sorcery, witchcraft, and other powers that probably powered, because I guess we should say this too, I mean, there's power that anybody can tap into now that we're in the end times, probably, and some of it is probably good power, and we've talked about this too. It could be that it's all the same power, and it's your intent that behind it.
And behind it, yeah.
But
Well,
anyway.
Tommy, I definitely think that it's supernatural, and you're 100% right. But I also think that we've been lied to on a scale that most people don't even realize, especially those that don't see the Mandela effect. Like when we're growing up, like everything that's written on paper was like concrete, set in stone. You know what I mean? Like rock solid, not able to be changed.
Right.
But that's also, I believe, a lie because I know my Bible changed. I know it was Luke, I am your father. I know, like my memory. You can basically, your word can have somebody get the death penalty for a crime. So like your memory is your memory, and some things you're rock solid on. And if you're rock solid on something, just because somebody else says it was never that way for you, it was, then that's the way it is. Like it was trespasses in the KJV. I know that to be fact.
All right, let me think. Let's explore this idea. Do you think it's possible that the people that are under delusion, they can't see the changes, but they probably did experience the same stuff as us, the same spellings and all the same stuff, but now that they're under delusion, they don't remember it correctly. I mean, doesn't that seem like that maybe makes more sense? Is that it's the delusion that they're under, that's keeping them from remembering Fruit Loops, Captain Crunch, Jiffy Peanut Butter, so on and so on.
Oh yeah. Because I think because of all the satanic stuff that's going on, that their scales on their eyes, so to speak, are thicker
Mhm.
now than they were a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, whatever the case may be.
Mhm.
And they won't even. Most people won't even like listen to you long enough to hear you out as to what the Mandela effect is, or quantum effect, or any change. They won't even like. They just call you nuts and don't want to hear it, and that's it. Oh, you're crazy. You believe in blah blah blah, and that's it.
Terra Nova Truth says, I think frequency changes possibly, but all because of witchcraft. All right, so I'm going to screen share, and I want to show y'all something on Facebook, actually, which I don't normally show a lot of things on Facebook because I don't care about Facebook that much. But let me go ahead and see if I can pull that up and show you something because it has to do with frequencies and what we're talking about. So just bear with me here. All right, star. Who is it? All right, so here we are. Can you all see what see
Mhm.
Facebook? Okay, so we're going to Starfire Tours official fan page, and she's the scientist that claims. Well, I mean, she was talking about the Mandela effect before any of us, anybody in our community, and so on. But this here, yeah, 7 hours ago, geomagnetic storm day number 3. Core Matrix battle against DMA evil continues. Time shift and timeline edits, that's what she calls the Mandela effect, still in progress. Millions of brainwashed people will be freed. Expect the dark schemes to get darker and crazier. We do. September 25th, 2020, Core Matrix Time Shift Solar Report. And she's kind of cryptic. Anyway, we are now experiencing day 3 of a geomagnetic storm. This has given the core matrix a lot of time shift line edits, which is she's calling about talking about the Mandela effect, about shifts and changes. Anyway, to it to enact and work with. This is especially important because the battle for this plane of existence, I'm going to say, Earth, and all the life on Earth has a deadline involving an upcoming November 3rd, 2020 presidential election. I have already explained why in many past reports, including those that go back to previous election of 2016, you must expect a barrage of Democrats mania to accelerate between now and then. This will include more of their power grab social and political schemes. All corrupt GOP politicians will continue doing their Trump thing, and the elite billionaire controllers and funders of the Dems are in uber war mode. At the same time, you should expect documented reveals about their dark behavior in this and other elections. Soon, millions of people in the U.S. will find their brainwashing program has been shattered. With their free will returned, their ability to think rationally returned. These millions will need help from the coming out of their program fog. You will know who they are because they will no longer be a program puppet of the puppet masters and their brainwashing minions. Remember, these people have been victims of a terrible power grab mind control scheme that seriously messed with their brains. And she's talking about COVID and all that stuff, all the TV programming stuff.
Right.
Help them bring them up to speed on what's going on, and most of all, do not hold them responsible for their brainwashed behavior. By
No,
the way,
I go.
by the way, Biden must not be allowed to be anywhere. Must not be allowed to wear any kind of earbud or other communication device, or be able to view any sort of communication device during the upcoming debate. I I PSI saw that this is part of their debate plan. I wish there would also have to be drug tests, but that might not be legal. Anyway, but she's got here the increases in all this stuff here. Universal time. I don't know what she's got here. It says Boulder, Fredericksburg, uh, college, and something else. Anyway, but this lady here, for those who don't know, she's a scientist, Starfire Tour, scientist, pioneer, researcher, psychic. I mean, yeah, okay, visionary. The Time Chronicles podcast is what she has. Her channel on YouTube. Time shifts and the time shift effect. That's our Mandela effect. What we call Mandela effect. She was the first one. She was on Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie. I mean, she was definitely one of the first people to discover it and talk about it and research it.
Right.
She hates Fiona Broom. She says that Fiona Broom hijacked,
Right.
yeah, and stole it from her. Anyway, and she also claims, though, this is where it's weird. It gets weird. Starfire Tour claims that she lied as she put out there the false thing that
The first Mandela effect.
Mandela effect. Listen, that
Right.
Mandela
Yeah, I
died in
remember you
prison.
talking.
She said she put that part out there, and it was not true. She polled a bunch of people, thousands of people, and what they remembered about Mandela, and none of them said that they remembered him dying in prison. They said all kinds of stuff. And then so she decided to put that out there that he died in prison, and
Right.
then people caught on to it, including Fiona Broom, and started saying they remembered him dying in prison.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I listened to this girl. I remember you bringing her up once
Yeah.
before, Tommy, and I remember listening to her, and yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
She's quite the
I listened to that
individual. I mean,
hell-
she gets credit for seeing this before we did, before a lot of people did, or anybody maybe even. But look what she takes credit for too. These are some of the things.
Right.
Unified field theory of PSI,
Yeah.
timeline, time travel, astral tagging with reveal. I mean, she's into a bunch of strange stuff, and but she I don't know. What I'm surprised that more people in our community are not talking about her, because of her big claims and her, whatnot.
I think it's a good thing you brought her up again, because she should be, right. She should be mentioned more often.
She hates the name Mandela effect, and she well, we equally don't like the name pretty much, and we don't even care for Fiona Broom. So
Yeah.
there's that too. So yeah, she should embrace us, and I think maybe she watches, maybe she Oh, thank you, Paradox and Oxide. Maybe she's even in here right now, or in not this one because it wasn't even labeled a Mandela show, but she might be in some of our Mandela Effect shows, and who knows, we might even be talking to her at some point, but she, and then what was it, the rabbit hole, or what's those guys over there? Yeah, they wanted to get with her too. So maybe we'll see. Go ahead. Maybe we'll see her. Yeah, more of her.
No, I was saying.
I think she might like a more academical discourse, so to say. I think she's, and I think the way this community works, it's more like people are, right, and she's more of like I said, academic. So
Okay,
Yeah.
but is she the same girl? I thought there was another girl, or maybe it's the same girl, but had a different channel or name or something named Sue that would talk about time slips or something along those lines. Is that her too, or someone different?
Yeah, she has a partner that does the the Time Chronicles podcast. Ella something. And she's out there too. She's got some strange things, and she's also on Facebook too. But yeah, they them two women do that show, the Time Chronicles podcast.
I remember
So-
when you showed the two of them to everyone here in chat for the first time, and everyone, including you, was like, "What have these witches got to say with these evil names and their black hair?" That was more or less our first,
right.
how do you say, our prejudice. But we listened to it and we laughed about it. But along the way, listening, we got more and more suspect. Like, no, she's very right, and she's honest and sincere, and she's very well informed, actually.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, she should get credit for being talking about the Mandela effect before basically anybody else, at least on a radio show, and George Norrie, he found it fascinating, and what was the other one? Art Bell. Yeah, I think it was Art Bell that she was on with first. Before George Norrie. Yeah, I think she was on way back then, because it was like the 80s, or the late 80s. She was talking about the Mandela effect, y'all. It's nuts. I mean, think about that.
Have you looked into this speech by Philip K. Dick in Paris? It's not so much of a good watch, because it's with a French translation in the first 10 or 15 minutes. So when you see that video, it will change after 10 minutes. But if you see and if you hear what Philip K. Dick has to say about shifting times and timelines and how reality can change, he's been in a different reality, and he wrote a book about it, like it was his fantasy, but it wasn't. It was memory. But his memory changed. Like I remember being in a war, and that war never happened. I mean, that's a Mandela effect.
Yeah. But yeah, think about I'm glad you brought that up. Think about all these the Black Tom and Torpedo Alley and stuff. I mean, how does that work with these individuals that were in that now? Whoa, I haven't really thought about that. Woo. I'm getting truth bumps.
Someone was saying earlier, I think it may have been on Steve JMO earlier, but someone was saying how their grandmother lived in New York when the statue, when Black Tom happened, and there was nothing in the Statue of Liberty or anything like that. She described everything that happened in her lifetime, and nothing like that happened. So, you know what I mean? So there's so many people that lived back then, and they would say, "I never heard of Black Tom," like that old lady.
9/11.
Right, right, exactly. Like that old lady though that what's that name, interviewed at the retirement home, that said that she was taught flat Earth.
Oh, David Weiss interviewed Ruth.
The rabbit hole, or whoever that was.
Yeah, Ruth.
If you were to go to retirement homes and ask any of them old people, do you remember Black Tom? They would say no. Black who? What's that?
Uncle Tom, right?
Yeah, Uncle Tom.
I'm Uncle Tom. I'm white. I'm Grandpa Tom now. Goodness.
It's funny that you say that you're Uncle Tom, because I have a Papa John. My dad's name's John, so he could be a papa.
I've been Uncle Tom or Tommy for 25, 26 years, maybe longer than that now. It's crazy, dude. I've been an uncle for a long time.
My
Long,
dad,
long-
name of my dad was G, just G. Everybody called him G.
Not blue,
It
Gene.
I might be an uncle for 29 years, I think now. Yeah, I think my niece is not 29, my oldest niece. That's crazy.
Ain't it fun how time flies?
Man. Yes. Because yeah, my daughter's 20 this year, and I was, both my a younger sister and my older sister, they both had two kids before I ever had. They were both married and had two kids before I ever got married,
Right.
and had kids. Yeah.
Yeah, my son will be 19 this year.
Wow. Yep.
November 23rd.
Yeah,
Son
that's
turned 29.
my stepson will be 20. Let's see. Goodness, he was born in. He'll be 23. Yeah, 23 on November 17th.
Wow.
He's out of the Marines. That's the biggest thing, man. I was so glad he got out of the Marines.
Oh, that's
before
good
he hit
news,
the
Tommy.
fan.
That's good. Mate.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
You don't want to be in any of the services at this point of time. Definitely not.
No, from this point on, definitely not. Mm-mm. You need to be in our army, our the Lord's
Right.
army.
Right. Not the army.
Woo. Oh boy.
I agree with that, Tommy. 100%.
Paradox says about Black Tom. I was taught about Black Tom and Torpedo Alley when I was 17 in high school. Wow.
Really?
How old is he? Pyridoxine oxide.
He's 20. No, I'm just kidding.
He's 20. Oh, I've got a feeling it was taught in history.
He says he's 34. He's 34.
34.
Wow.
I've got a feeling it was taught
I'm
in
46.
history.
Yeah.
I've got a feeling it was taught in history about 10 years ago or 15. Was it
Right.
10 or 12 years ago? Those videos started coming out about school documentaries talking about Black Tom and the history by high school students. They were like the first ones that came out. Well, we only saw them like a year ago, but they apparently came out 12 years ago, on YouTube.
Bolt Gun wants to know what's the deal with Torpedo Alley. Man, as many times as Brian Stabley's talked about it, you don't know about
Talks about
Bolt
it all
Gun?
the time.
Or,
He talks about it all the time. Was it 1,000 ships?
Carolina, right?
Yeah, there was tons of our ships and only 3 subs or some crap, Germans. So yeah, it was it
That's
was
the
a
weird
war.
thing about the Mandela effect. A lot of things have to do with Germany, or they like the names change to more German or more
I think it's
Dutch,
to cover up that they won the war.
like Salomon and like the Bernstein and Bernstein.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And also with the
Dude,
Haas
yeah.
and Haas avocados, that also relates to German and then with
Yeah, man. We were conquered by Germany.
There's no
Yes, I
Staines.
believe it.
There's no one called Stain. Who's called Stain? I don't know any Stains.
Stein or Steen.
I
Yeah.
don't know any Stains.
No.
But how about this? The parents, the authors of the Berenstein Bears, their son is still alive, and he's commented on this. He firmly believes that his name was always Stain, so he took the update for sure.
Yeah, but you can't blame him for that.
I know it's sad. It's sad.
It's always like that. It's always like that
He's a
with the
Stein.
Mandela effect in the
What
names.
if you woke up in the morning and your name changed to Sad Pie Man instead of Matt, and you didn't know it. I mean, you just went on with it, I guess. But
Yeah.
Mad
Sam
Ryan.
Ryan.
Mad
Well,
Ryan.
That's never that. It never happens like that. It's always the other way around. Always for the people who have their name changed. For them, it's always been the same, and they're not playing.
Yeah, that's true
If
too.
he's,
That
sa-
is true.
if he's saying that Stain was always the name, then he's a stain on the family name. Hey, well,
But like people in Italy, they know that this Italian boot has always been like that. Because they are in Italy. There's probably not an Italian who will tell you that the boot has changed.
I know that boot wasn't like that. Yeah, well,
I don't know. I didn't do any research on that, but like are there Cubans that say that Cuba seems to have grown on the map?
I know. I'll tell you what. I know. I got residue of the boot on my shoulder. So
Cool.
Ooh.
Cool.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't think.
I know the boot on my shoulder does not look like the boot now. I can tell you that much.
I'm just asking who booted you in the shoulder. When did this happen?
Yeah.
It's an Italian boot.
Something's up with Cuba. Either we got closer to it and it looks bigger, or they got bigger. There's
Here's
definitely
a new one. Here's a new one for me. Converse All-Star basketball boots.
on the right. It's on the wrong side or something.
It's always been on the inside.
No, dude.
No, the label. The label
this
used
is a
to be
weird
on
one
the
for me.
outside, man.
Because
It
I've
used to be
seen
on
this
the outside.
change. No, I've seen this change in the early '80s, like when these were getting hip in my part of the country, right? It was like a preppy thing, and I was in a very preppy school, and everyone should have like a pair of Converse, right? And they were on the outside, and I remember them also recognizing it on the inside, but. And then I started looking at everybody's All Stars, and all on the inside. And I was thinking, I was thinking like I must have misremembered it, but it always stayed with me. But that happened. That change happened to me in the early '80s.
I remember it was a rubber label, man, and it was a circle, and it was rubber, and I remember it peeling off on the outside, man, of the boots that I had, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a trip for me, man. I only just heard about that. I can't believe that.
Yeah, I guess I took the download there because I remember it constantly being on the inside.
Out for me.
I don't remember it being on the outside.
I remember the star and the not a triangle.
I remember a rubber,
the
like you
symbol.
say, man, but I remember it on the inside.
Yeah. The symbol's always been on the side, though. The star and the little
chevron.
Chevron, yeah, that's the word. Yeah, chevron.
Yeah, but those were always on. Those were not on All Stars. Those were on. I don't know. I always liked those editions more.
Oh, they didn't have anything on the All Star. Yeah? Just so they must have had some marking on the outside. Otherwise, how would you know that they were Converse at all?
Yeah.
If they had nothing on the outside. Chick-fil-A. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a Chick-fil-A cup, and of course it has with the K on there, but right there.
I can't comment about that. I've got no memory of that, mate, because we never had Chick-fil-A.
You got that other chicken place that I brought up one time. What was it?
We got Red Rooster and KFC, mate. That's it.
Yeah, I think it was the Red Rooster one, but.
You should actually, when you order a coffee at Starbucks and they ask you for your name, you should say, "I'm called Chick-fil-A," and see how they spell it every time. Every time in a different way, right?
That's got heaps of different ones, doesn't it?
Well,
heaps of different versions.
I used to be stuck on Chick-fil-A for a little while, so I came up with that lyric. I used to eat Chick-fil-A every day before they had the K. I did you could if my mom was awake right now, we'd call her and she'd say, yeah, she used to take me to Chick-fil-A every day for a long time. I was just stuck on it. And then when they added the K, the chicken changed too. Like the text, the
Yeah,
whole
I remember
it
you
changed
saying
for me.
that.
So I mean, I didn't eat it no more. I didn't want it no more. And here recently, I've been trying to eat their chicken nuggets,
Don't
and
eat nuggets.
now that's
It's not
starting to
chicken.
bother me. I'm not going to be able to eat them no more because it's like, it's not the same. It's not the same chicken or
Chicken.
whatever, man.
Yeah, I know one
Yeah,
thing about
well, you know that they're making 3D
no
chicken
chicken.
nuggets, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
No, well,
3D,
I know.
yeah, they're
Yeah, I
making,
know.
yeah.
Yeah, they're talking about it now, Rick. But I'm pretty sure they've
Oh,
been doing
yeah,
it for a
that's
while.
big time.
They
They're
haven't
making
had.
all kinds of 3D fucking meat, dude.
I mean printed, yeah,
You
3D
printed
printed.
meat, yeah, printed
Yeah,
chicken,
Yeah.
yeah, printed chicken, printed steak.
I,
There's
I want
companies that are
I
that
want
are
to puke, man. I really
printing,
want to puke. Mm.
that they're 3D printing their shit. Google it, Tommy. You'll see.
No, I'm about to puke now. Quit.
Well,
Just
I'm just
no.
saying,
Quit.
you'll
I'm
see these
serious, man.
companies, man. You'll see
all I
these
want to say
companies.
is,
They're
all I want to
doing
say
it.
is,
And there's
Oh,
fast food joints that are selling
oh,
this
they make.
shit.
Yeah, it's
Kentucky Fried
fucking.
Chicken is selling
It's,
it. They're gonna be moving
yeah,
it. If not already moving it.
it's fucking petri dish, fucking experiment, fucking food.
Yeah,
That's what it
it's
is.
sick shit, man.
Yeah. They're
all right.
growing the
I
meat
get
in the laboratory, man. Yeah. But
Tommy's getting sick.
McDonald's.
Tommy
I'm
needs
serious.
medicine.
I'm about to spit up my,
All
my
right, well,
but
Tommy.
I remember,
about to
I
spit up my
remember,
candy. I'm trying to chew over here.
I
It's like
remember a few,
I'm
remember a few years
nauseous.
ago.
I'm serious. Mm.
Better
Well,
get to your
you
medicine.
guys
You
think
better
that's
remember,
get
bad?
to your medicine, Tommy.
yeah, I remember
Tommy,
about
check
What?
5
this
years ago.
out.
What, Jen? Yeah.
So in the New York Post, okay, so there's a bunch of articles going around from like various sources saying that they're trying to link like COVID-19
Yeah,
to
I need it. I need it.
climate change, global
Oh
warming hoax of it.
yeah.
So
I
then,
know.
so I was trying to disprove global warming, climate change, greenhouse effect, and I found a bunch of cool stuff on James Corbett
Yeah.
report.com, and I was doing my research like it was suggested to me, and then so I was doing that. But then I started finding articles like the New York Post. This was when I was done with that research. Scientists suggest eating human flesh to fight climate change. Like they're like
Yeah.
putting this into the psyche of people that cannibalism is okay and it has to do with climate change,
Doesn't
but then
work on
to
this
link
one.
it back
Yeah,
to COVID.
Because humans are
Don't you
evil.
remember? Don't you remember last year? Don't you remember last year when the lady came out on that press report and said we
Ooh.
need to eat more babies? We need to start
Yeah.
eating more babies.
Fetuses are
Yeah,
in everything.
I
All
mean
meat,
it
all meat
takes
products,
away
man.
your baby.
McDonald's for sure. McDonald's is aborted fetuses, man.
Yeah,
I'm
well
telling you.
you're putting stem cells in the
Yeah.
vaccines.
Yeah, it's everywhere. It's everywhere.
Yeah,
It's an
so I
industry.
mean, it's already
They're not. Yeah,
being
they're not
done.
just. Yeah, they're not just killing babies because they hate us. They're also feeding them back to us as well.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It literally is Soylent Green.
Yeah, it is, mate.
Like with the stem cells now, it's not that we're eating real baby parts, but with the stem cells, yes, it's like it. It's a form of it.
Yeah, it's probably a
And they
form of
were
medicine.
already talking about putting
It's
putting
cannibalism, and
putting
yeah,
cannibal in our soil and our
yeah,
fertilizer,
yeah.
recycling our body and ashes in the soil as fertilizer. That's
I've
already being
always,
done. I think
yeah,
that's already being done too.
I wouldn't put it. I wouldn't be surprised. I've always asked the question. We know there's a lot of people. I'm not anything to do with COVID because we know that's not real. But there's a lot of people all over the world that die every day, and you know, a lot of us live in populated areas with large populations. In the millions, and cemeteries never seem to get extended. They don't get any bigger. people dying every day all over the world, in the
Right.
millions.
Right.
But the
Yeah.
cemeteries don't expand. I've always had that question: where do the dead people go? They're
We're
not
all,
brought.
yeah. Neil,
Well,
well,
these graves are cleared. They are cleaned. They are either you pay for a lifetime or like forever or for 100 years or for 200 years. That's
It's a
how you do
business.
it. And but most people just buy it for 5 years or for 10 years, and then the family says, "Well, you can have it cleaned because it just cost us too much."
well,
And then
that,
and mostly the body is decomposed, but sometimes the body is still intact. That happens too.
It's a sad situation, though, isn't it?
And they just get extinguished, or they just get grounded up into earth.
so you're saying over where you're at anyway that people get buried in a grave more than once
Oh yeah, certainly yeah, definitely.
in the same plot.
Yeah.
I know there. I know of some cemeteries that do like they
Of course.
kind of keep the cemetery off, and that may happen. Like they'll move the cemetery, but I
Yeah.
don't think that happens a lot over here. But it may. I don't.
But it is the reason why there's not so much growth of cemetery. I mean, there's
Yeah, no,
some ancient cemeteries, but they have been paid off like forever, right? So that's a deal. That's a deal that you don't break. And
that's a deal with the devil. That one.
Oh, I don't know. It could be. But
What's sad is though, mate. I agree with what you're saying, and it makes complete sense in largely populated areas with a small plot of land, so to speak. But it's a disgrace, really, to the memory of the person, because their headstone's been removed and they've been replaced with someone else.
Right. That's why I don't see that happening. I mean, even like over here, if they do move a cemetery, they will move the headstones, but they won't move the bodies. I could see that happening, but then that person, it isn't like someone's buried in that plot again. You know what I mean? I
yeah, I
think
know what you mean. But
over here, kind of once somebody's buried in a plot, they're kind of buried in that plot. Even though they may move the headstones, they're still in that plot, and nobody else is kind of buried there. So,
but there's
but I do know of also cemeteries cutting bodies in half too. As in burying other bodies. So I know that does happen, but no, I don't
miss this little guy.
It happens that much.
Hey, that's a good picture.
I miss Braylon Michael.
That's before he opened his eyes, mate.
That is a good picture.
It was this this is one of his first pictures, that they took of him, and they had it framed. It's a frame, framed.
Yeah, that's nice.
Or whatever.
Is he coming back by you, Tommy?
Is what? Say what?
Is the baby coming back by you?
I mean, they live here, so they're staying away right now because he's butthurt because I'm upset that he's not, he doesn't have a job and not trying to get one, and he thought he was just going to live off of me and his old lady and anybody and everybody, I guess. I mean, he's got four kids, and she's been taking pregnancy tests left and right, thinking she's pregnant again. But he has no job. He hasn't had a job in quite a while, and it's like he just wants to sit around, play video games, and make babies. And he's not concerned with providing for the other kids or the one that's right here. And it's
it used to be the standard, didn't it, mate? It used to be, the test. Like if you have a child, this is it, mate. This is the real deal. This is time to grow up. This is time to be a man.
Yeah.
Time to be responsible. You've got a life to support. You got to. It's time to grow up. It's time to stop being a child. You have to be the adult.
Yeah, especially if you got 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on, man, 4 kids. He's got 4 kids, and he's either got 3 or 4 baby mamas. It might be 4. I don't know. It's either 3 or 4. I'm sure. So that's 3 or 4 separate women, and then those kids. And it's like, I mean, dude, and he's only 24. I mean,
Wow.
how in the world? I mean. And then so he's trying to get one of those babies back. One of them's about the same age as my grandson, or a little older, maybe like by months, just a few months. But he's trying to get that one. He's going in and visiting it, and he thinks he's going to get that kid back, but he's not executing any thing to anything to make it happen.
Guys, you're just looking at this kid in the wrong way. He's just a service provider. He's not a father. He's not a dad.
Yeah,
he just provides service when they know to
stud farm. He's a stud.
Yeah, right. Oh boy. I mean, and somebody brought up the fact, well, what does that make what does that make your daughter look like? Or why? What's wrong with her that she's, Well, I'm pretty sure, yes, she's got some kind of daddy issues because she was kept away from me all these years. I was tricked into signing my rights away to a woman. I signed, by my stepson and her. This lady said, "Don't worry." She looked me right in the eye in the courtroom. She's like, "Don't worry. I promise you, I will let you be in their lives." And she denied me the whole time, all these years. So she damaged, both of us, all of us, by doing that. She was just being selfish and foolish, and now my daughter doesn't have anything to do with that woman who basically raised her after, from a few years old on, whatever. So yeah, it's crazy, man. But we're look, I was as nice as I could be, and I haven't even gotten in his face or anything. I mean, I just put it on Facebook, and I asked, and at first I messaged my daughter. I said, he could be making money here with the cleanup, decent money, helping, and
opportunities knocking, mate. Time to do something.
Yeah,
make something of your life.
So
open this.
He just doesn't want to work at all. He doesn't. He has no desire to work, and he thinks that everything's going to be handed to him somehow. I think he's living in a dream world where he thinks, he's fixing to get, some inheritance that he's not going to get or something, whatever. I mean, it's like, it's unreal that they just think that everything's going to fall right in place for them magically without doing anything to make,
Well, how old's your daughter?
She's 20 and he's 24, and she's worked, and she was supposed to transfer here to Pensacola, but and she didn't do that. But I didn't jump on her because she just had a baby a few months ago, and if she's not ready to go back to work, I can afford to help her. But I'm not going to support a grown man who's sitting in the house,
not him,
doing nothing but whatever he wants, and not even trying to get a job at all. I let him do it for a couple weeks, but then how long am I going to keep that up? I mean, he had a little vacation, and now it's over, at least in my, if he stays here. So then listen, I saw them packing up some stuff before any of this stuff started, at all. And I thought, well, why would they leave here? They've got it good. And so I called my sister. I'm out in the yard. I called my sister. I'm out in my side of my house, on the side of the camper actually. So there's, right there's a camper, and then I was on the far side of it. And he snuck up behind me, came out of the house and snuck up behind me and was listening to my conversation with my sister. Like, who does that? You're not supposed to do that. So, and I'm telling my sister, I said, I guess they're leaving. And I said, I don't know why, unless he, he just doesn't want to be here. And I said, he hasn't even looked for a job, and he hasn't offered to help me with the cleanup that I have. And he heard that. And so when I went back in the house, after catching him, because he knows I saw him sneak up behind me, he comes out and says, "Hey man, I'll help you with any of the cleanup you need. I will do whatever." And I was like, "Okay, that's good. I appreciate it." And so they left the next day, and he never helped me, and they're still gone. They're still gone. They have not come back. So he's trying to make sure that all the work's done before he comes back, or maybe he's not. Yeah, but I mean, seriously, why would you tell me you're going to help me, and then you take off and to back to Alabama and stay up there? All your stuff's here, all your clothes, all everything you own, pretty much. And they've been gone now for since like Sunday or Saturday or something. And it's Saturday a week. They've been gone a week. Yeah, basically.
Right.
Good grief. Yeah. So
Yeah.
and it already seems like they're gonna use my grandson against me. See, use him like
pawn.
yeah, that's that crap, man. That's what
Bad
pisses me
shit,
off.
mate.
That's fucked up.
That little boy loves me to death. I mean, he's only known me for a short while, but he loves his pawpaw, and
They're gonna indoctrinate him. They're gonna indoctrinate him just as long until he hates you, right? Those
if
things
it
happen.
goes that far, if it goes that far, I'm hoping my daughter will put her foot down and make this guy, go away or get a job and provide.
Yeah.
I mean, especially if he's gotten her pregnant again. See, there's a chance she's already pregnant again. They've already told me that, and she's taken, these cheap tests or whatever. But who knows? Maybe that's why they're not here neither, because she's found out she's pregnant again, and she doesn't want to, tell me right now.
Yeah. Right.
But she had already told me it's possible, because they're doing it like cats and dogs. I mean, I get it. That's what young people do. But you got to be. Oh, man. You know the drill, guys. I don't have to preach.
There's consequences for your actions.
I'm embarrassed. I used to be embarrassed when I would tell this, but I was a 21-year-old virgin. I mean, I didn't have to be, and I did plenty of sexual things, but I didn't break. I didn't go there because my mom would have probably had a heart attack. Literally, I think. I mean, I just didn't want to break my mom's heart. I didn't want to deal with adult stuff that And so I made sure that I didn't have sex until I was an adult. And I lied to my friends, and of course they all thought I was having sex or had whatever, had at least. And but but I'm not ashamed of that now.
We grew up faster before, Tommy, in our generation, mate. We were thrown out into the world, mate, and we had to.
Well, we threw ourselves out. I think. Yes. I mean, I did because I rebelled from my parents who were pretty strict, and I'm like, well, I'd sneak out of the house, so, and go, do whatever I wanted.
Whatever, yeah.
But when you were out completely, and you're on your own, it was sink or swim.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't. There was. You didn't do it for no reason. You know what I mean? We had more conviction of our actions. We weren't going to run back home if things didn't work out.
Right.
That's how it was in my generation anyway. I made the decision to leave home, and I wasn't going back. I was on my own, mate. And that's the way it was. And now it's just too easy. It's too easy to run back home when things turn bad.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're all kids aren't like that, because that that isn't the case in my son. My son hit 18, got a job, or not? Yeah, hit 18, got a job, and moved out
Well,
7 months later. Huh.
I think the family values might be stronger where you are, Rick, than it is in a lot of other places, maybe.
Yeah, but Tommy, the reason why I asked about her
Yeah.
age is because hormonally, when a woman is pregnant, like she'll have that whole nest thing, like everything has to be perfect. But now that she's had the baby, whether or not she's pregnant again is not the point right now.
You're right.
She's probably having a desire, like I don't know, like a physical desire to try and weave her family, her man, her baby together. But when she realizes what he's up to, I think she'll come around towards you and be like, "Hey, Dad, you know, blah blah blah." But she needs to first get over because these hormones play a big role in how a woman behaves. Believe it or not, a huge role, and her emotional thing. Like after you have a baby, the hormones don't stop, you know, for like 6 months or so. So right now, hormonally, her body's telling her to make it work with him. Probably my guess, because I'm
I get
thinking
that.
back when I was in my 20s and, you know, being pregnant 4 times and what I went through, and it was like a desire to have a family. Like it was just physically, mentally, emotionally, everything.
That's how I got with her mother. Like I've said many times, I prayed about it, and God said, "No, no, no, no! Don't you dare marry that woman." You know that actually woman. She was a teenager. I mean, you know, she was 16. I was 23, but she had Zachary already. You know, a newborn, you know, baby. And I wanted that. I wanted the instant family. Of course, she did too, or she acted like she did. But you know. She was looking for the security I would be able to provide her mainly, you know, I think, but, you know, yeah, I get that though. I get what you're saying. But, you know, there's plenty of people out there that still make the right decisions, you know, and she's not making the right decisions if she continues to enable him to
Have babies. And
have babies and not provide for them. You know, I mean,
yeah, no,
Well, what I'm saying is maybe not yet, but I'm thinking that, you know, depending, I don't know her personally, so I mean, it's hard to say, but I think that if she's not making the right decision now, that there's a good chance she'll come around though, you know, in a couple of months. Give it a little bit of time because that baby's still very young, you know. You know, let her go through a couple little things here, there, whatever, and then she'll probably.
I don't think Tommy has a problem with that. I think Tommy has a problem with her getting pregnant again already.
Well, I can't stop that. I'm not gonna. I mean,
yeah,
you know,
I know that.
But I would hope. I wish that she would. Yeah, I wish she would take. You know, take that more serious because, you know, I mean, but that's just it. You know, young people they don't think long term. They don't think about the cost of things, you know, later or any of that kind of, you know, I mean, that's the sad thing about it. But some do. So, I mean, it is possible that, you know, something, you know, can, you know, change. But yeah, you know, and I have hope that, you know, she's going to come to her senses. I have hope that he's going to come to his senses. I don't hate the kid at all. I would love for him to just step up and continue to step up. Don't get a job for a week at McDonald's and say, "Oh, look what I'm doing," you know, or whatever, or a month. No, you got to get a job and keep it for. I mean, think about it. He's actively trying to get custody of his other son from the state. How are you going to? You got a long list of things to, you know, that they're going to require to get that kid back. You know, I mean, you know, come on, man. He's
so who's fueling him? Who's fueling him to do this? He's got an influence somewhere, whether it's his mother, his father, somebody in his life, I bet, is fueling him to act the way he is.
Good point, Jen.
Well, that area is. Listen, I lived in Bruton, Alabama, and it was the worst 2.5 years of my life. I mean, I can say that for no problem with definitely no, you know, because I went through hell there. And at the hands of her mother, you know, poisoning us and abusing all the stuff, you know, the cheating. But and then I've seen how corrupt the police are there. The judges are corrupt. The drugs there is just just it's nuts, dude. And so you got and the alcohol, and I mean just the lack of education. I mean, we're talking about Alabama here. Please keep that in mind. All right, woo. Yeah, I mean it's a sad place, and these little small towns. I'm sure there's some good places in Alabama, bigger places and stuff, but I know that area very well. It's oh God, man, I could just go on and on and on. But the chief of the police there, years ago, was working with side by side with the biggest drug dealer in the area, and they had all these people hooked on drugs. And we're making money off of people hooked on drugs. The chief of police himself. Yeah, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, it's just ridiculous, man.
They need a reason. They need a reason to justify their existence, mate.
My father was a police officer in a small town in North Carolina like that, and he had to eventually move on and become a highway patrol to get out of that corrupt system that he was a part of, and all they wanted was my dad to be like most of them and go along with the corruption, but he didn't want any part of that. He was going to Bible college while he was a cop, so he certainly didn't want to pilfer and plunder the he didn't want to rob people of their money and their respect, their dignity and stuff. So he, but he did arrest our next door neighbor for growing pot, and I thought that was wrong. I didn't even know what pot was, but I thought it was horrible that he was arresting our next door neighbor. I was 5 years old or something like that. I'm like, dang, Dad. But yeah, my dad. He did kind of break the law there because he just kept seeing this old lady go behind a fenced in area in their backyard. It was our next door neighbor, like I said, and with a watering jug. And so he eventually just went over there on their property and looked over the fence and saw that it was pot plants growing. And then he went and arrested her grandson that was, actually growing the pot. She was just watering them for him. So he didn't arrest the grandma, but he
had his grandmother watering his pot plants.
Yeah.
The perfect cover.
Yeah, go out and water these plants for me.
Yeah. And my dad caught on to it and got curious. Like what are they watering behind a fenced-in area? Oh boy!
Wow.
Yeah, crazy man.
That's not very neighborly, Tommy.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I mean, it just.
Tommy knew it was wrong at 5 years old.
I didn't even know. I didn't even know what the plant was, and maybe I was confused too because it was involved with the plant. The plants.
Tommy didn't know what was illegal about having a pot.
Right. Oh boy, you can't have a garden. Just freaking nothing.
Grow a weed, man.
I remember
it's not even a plant, Well,
it's a herb.
It's a plant, but
it's
not.
medicine.
It don't produce food or nothing like that.
Oh, I've ate plenty of it. You can eat it.
Oh, I know that, but it isn't. It doesn't produce fruit or vegetable. It's.
I remember the first time I ever saw weed, man.
It's like dandelion.
Why would I block you, Maverick? What who are you that I would block? Okay. Anyway, so. What's up, Jennifer? You still awake? Oh, and it's 4:26 here. It's 4.
Yeah, I'm still here.
4:26 here.
No, you missed the boat, Tommy.
I don't mind as long as I get it in before 4:30. You know, in the 20s. You know, I'm in the 20s.
In the 20s.
And then if I do miss it in the 30, I go to 20 till at 40. You know,
Oh
20
yeah,
till.
40, yeah. The 40.
Yeah, the 40 mark is 20 till. You know, 20 after
Yeah.
20 till. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh dear. I hit this thing once or twice an hour, and it's usually just once, you know, for the most part. Now, earlier I was hitting it twice an hour because I was making up for all the time driving to Alabama, and you know,
That you miss.
I still can't believe that I put on an extra hour on my trip just from hitting the button on stupid thing to avoid the interstate. Oh man.
That is crazy.
I kept thinking, man, there must be a mess on the interstate. Just pile up or something. Jeez. No. Dang it.
Alexa, please take me the longest route possible.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh dear. But anyway. Yep. I better get this in. So this, let me tell y'all a little bit about the truck. You know, I buy and sell cars and campers, and you know,
Man, I'll be coming to see you, mate, if I was on you over there.
there's
Yeah,
4
man.
cars in my yard right now, yard and driveway. But I've had as many. I've had as many as 10, I think, out there, maybe 12 in this
I've got
yard.
cars I need to sell too.
Yeah. Huh?
I've got cars I need to sell too, mate. I've got to get my shit together.
If you're not selling cars or houses, you're working too hard. I've said that for years, and it's very true. I mean, you know, everybody has to have a house.
Make money.
Everybody
Yeah,
has to have a house and a car, pretty much. So, you know, there's that's 2 things that are huge.
Yeah, they made it hard. They made it hard for us, man. People used to do the same here, but they changed the laws. You used to be able to buy and sell 10 cars a year without a motor car trader's license. Yeah.
Right.
But now they've reduced that to 3 cars. I think it is now.
Wow.
It's 5. It's 5 here for us in Florida.
So
But I have a lot of dealer friends. I have a lot of dealer friends, so I you know, I make things happen. But anyway, yeah, it's they see they want you to start your own car lot if you're going to do any more than that, so they can make more money off of you. You know, you know, yeah.
Yeah, before when it used to be 10, before there was no limit, you know, for a long time. You know, it probably started in the 90s, I'd imagine. That's when regulations really started to kick in with that sort of stuff, you know. Not long after that, they started everyone having to need a they call it an ABN. It's called it stands for the Australian Business Number. So if you operate a business, you have to have a number, which is probably equivalent to what your
license,
social security,
business license
your
number
social
here.
security number or whatever, you know. And,
Right.
yeah, so everybody's registered, and you know everything's tracked and traced, and there's no escape, and made it harder for people to pay cash to workers, you know, to keep things under the tables to avoid tax. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's all about tax. They need the tax, you know.
Yeah. No.
But yeah, when the regulations changed to 10 cars per person per year to buy and sell, people, you know, they worked around it. You know, you'd have your family members sell a couple of cars for you if you went over the 10 mark. You know what I mean? But people used to, you know, buy old cars, usually abandoned, or people would just sell them cheap when cars were worth nothing. Right up until about 2000, there were still cheap cars that were made in the 70s and the 80s, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But after 2000, that all changed, and people started keeping those older cars, the ones that hadn't been crushed. You know what I mean?
Nine times out of 10, when I buy a car, it's got an open title, so that way I don't even have to register it unless I want to. You know, I can resell it. You know, and it's still got an open title, so bam, that gets you around the limit,
Yeah,
and all that
yeah,
crap.
no,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
They screwed that up here a couple of years ago, mate. Probably, I don't know, maybe 5 years ago,
hmm
when they changed the law from if you bought a car that was unregistered or unlicensed, as you call it,
hmm
and then you sold it to someone else, the person who bought it off you, before they could register it again in their name, they had to get the name of the person that sold it to them, and then that would be counted as a sale against your name. So that's registered. Basically, even though it was never registered to you, the licensing authority, they need your name. So they've got your name on record as
Oh
selling a
yeah,
car to someone.
yeah.
You know what I
There
mean?
you go.
Yeah.
Imagine
It's all
that.
bullshit. Yeah.
hmm
But
Well,
everything costs more. Everything's harder.
do you,
It's like it's over. I think it's $900 a year to register your car now. Here,
wow,
900.
that's insane.
So
That
That's
is,
nuts.
and
That
yeah,
and that's
crazy.
and that's driven the cost up of
you
cheap
got to have
cars.
insurance too, of course, right? Insurance, or is that?
No, no, you
Oh,
might. I'm not. I can't speak for all of Australia, but I'm pretty sure it's the same everywhere. You don't need insurance; isn't mandatory,
wow.
but part of your registration is they call it compulsory third party insurance, and that's included in your registration, your annual registration for your car.
Huh.
But that only covers you for injury to third parties in an accident. They're
So
covered
that's
under the
liability insurance.
liability for injury to other road users. Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. Huh.
Yeah.
Dude,
But yeah,
and
that's true. That because it's gone up so much. The cost of just having a car registered in your name every year,
yeah,
which actually, when you register the car, you're registering it to the state, so you're giving the title to them. But regardless of that, that's driven the cost up so much, and we have if you yeah, the state that I live in, I think it's one of the only ones that doesn't have an annual inspection for registration. But when you buy or sell a car, the car that you want to re-register into your name has to have what they call a roadworthy certificate, which you'd probably call a safety certificate or something similar to that. And that,
inspection.
yeah,
Hey,
so that there's mechanical businesses that deal only in that. That's the only business they do is roadworthy certificates. So they make a business just out of
yeah,
people being able to re-register cars,
yeah. DOT
and
or MOT or something.
yeah, like MOT,
Yeah,
yeah, something like
yeah.
that. Yeah,
Yeah. Tennessee has it. Virginia. Oh my gosh, they do bumper to bumper. They check every damn thing on your car.
it's it's
But
hard here.
we don't have it at all. We
Yeah,
don't even have the exhaust one.
yeah. Because it's a business to re-register cars to transfer
Yeah.
names into titles from one name to another name. Yeah, it's a business, and the companies that do it, yeah, you won't get out of it probably less than 2.5 grand to be minimum. Three
Wow,
grand would probably be average. That'd be if there's like basically nothing wrong with your car.
man.
So that's pushed the value of registered cars with roadworthy certificates up to like $4,000.
Right? Wow.
You know what I mean?
Great.
When
Yeah.
before years ago, when registration was like $100, right? And it was easier to transfer names over. They weren't that strict on the roadworthy part of the inspection. The inspection for the change of name. Um, yeah, you could buy and sell cars with roadworthy certificates. So easy, change the name over, change the title for like $1,000, $1,500. But now that's gone to bare minimum, 4,000. There's no such thing
Hey,
as a cheap car.
hey,
That's why
hey,
a lot of
David.
people a lot of
Sorry,
people crush their cars. It's just not worth repairing them and trying to sell them again.
David Wolf in the house.
Hey, David, good to see you, mate. Yeah, so they've killed that backyard industry, mate, where people used to go all right. They used to make a good income on the side. They can't do it anymore.
I
It's just
guess
not
Patrick.
worthwhile.
I guess Patrick eventually fell asleep.
Yeah,
I
he
ain't
must have.
seen that in a while. Let's see. Yeah, a while ago.
Yeah, so probably people making more money just from wrecking cars, mate.
Oh,
You
I
know?
didn't see Robert Alley, I don't think, earlier. Huh. Hey, Robert, if you're still here. Plane Drifter, Terra Nova Truth, Bolt Gun, Maverick, Paradox and Oxide. Yeah, we got a little over a dozen. That's pretty
Here
cool.
we go. Well, mate, it's good.
That's
Yeah, I had the same dream, Tommy. What you do, mate? I'd love to be able to live that way and just muck around with cars.
mhm.
But I'm not as probably not as talented as you are.
But no,
So
listen,
I
I'm
need
not that great.
need an offside.
I'm not that great with fixing cars. I mean, I can do a lot of certain little things, but
Mm,
I have connections with I have relationships with a lot of mechanics and a lot of people, dealers and stuff. And that's a big part of buying and selling cars is having these
good to have connections.
right connections and relationships. I got a guy that lives less than a mile from me that he's where I want to be. He has like 200 cars at any one time, and he's buying and selling cars every day, out of his
Wow.
own property now, not a car lot.
Right.
He's just
Yeah.
got cars and he puts them on Facebook and Craigslist,
Nice.
whatever, and then sells them in, one at a time or two, two at a
Yeah.
time, whatever. But
Yeah.
and I've already bought a couple cars from him, and he won't sell like his cheapest cars to just anybody. So he gives me a chance to buy cars under $1,000 that are still got a lot of life left in them.
Yeah.
And then I'm able to buy those and fix them up and then sell them for a
Yeah.
little more, and whatever. So I love that. But like
Yeah, that time passed us by, mate, like 30
I
years ago.
I could show anybody how to buy
Mm.
a $500 car and sell anywhere from 1,500
Yeah.
to 2,000. So that's
Yeah.
that's tripling your money or more. And then if you buy a $2,000 car, the right one, I can show you how to sell that for 4 or 5 grand. Easy,
Yeah.
and you just keep doing it. It's
Yeah.
it's not hard. I mean,
Yeah. See, for us, man, yeah, we have to start higher. You have to, you want to be
I
looking for
know, I
cars.
see that. Yeah, so you would have to
Yeah.
have 4 grand. And yeah, I know. That's
Yeah.
getting up. Yeah, but yeah, and I think that's they're doing that on purpose.
Mm.
It's they're attacking the little man, harder than they are the ones that are closer to them. The rich.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
so
yeah.
you better.
Oh, it's all about attacking the poor, mate. Yeah, they hate the poor. That's right.
Bolt Gun says my state gives me 1 permanent tag for being disabled veteran. They also waive fees for hunting and fishing license. That is great.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I was thinking about this the other day, mate. I just had an abstract thought right in the middle of the day,
Mhm.
and this just came to me. Right, I was it was totally random, but it was just about fishing licenses, and I just had this thought flash across my mind because I remember when they brought fishing licenses out in my state,
Mhm.
and I thought that's it. When that happened, I thought that's the beginning of the end. Fishing licenses, And I was thinking about that, the other day, and I was like, that was a big moment that most people didn't even recognise. That was the beginning of the tyranny
Yeah.
when they tell you need a license to catch fish.
Yeah.
Right.
Jesus.
Well, that started. We
Jesus.
in the States here, we've always had a fishing license. For a long time, you've always needed a fishing license.
Yeah,
And yeah, and over here in the States too, the only ones that can enter into your house without a warrant is the game commission.
what?
Yeah, the
That's true. That is true.
Game
Well, it's-
commissions are the
Yeah,
only
if you're
one.
suspected of having something, having wildlife or corpse or anything to do, yeah, all with
oh,
that.
they come
Oh,
down hard
man.
on you. They come down hard on you for
Yeah,
Woo, you better believe it.
they're the only ones that are allowed to enter in your house without a warrant.
Yeah,
Oh,
because timing's everything in that,
guys, I have
too, or
to chime
whatever.
out because I have to welcome Dean HD on my channel.
Oh, yeah.
I have a stream planned for 11:30.
All right,
Yeah.
cool. We like Dean, yeah.
So yeah, let me see. I need to
He's doing the. He's going to the London protests.
I
He's going to
think
be
Dean
live
was in the
streaming.
chat of my last live show. Wasn't he the one I did on Zionism, or maybe the one before that? I don't know. But if people are missing my shows, I have been live on this channel, the backup channel, and some people just in our community didn't subscribe or check the bell. But
Catch you later, mate.
but yeah, Voynich, take care, man.
Yeah, see you later,
If
Roy.
I'm awake, I'll check out that show or check it out later. Thanks for
Yeah.
being on, bro. Always good to see you. And your beautiful buds.
Hey
Beautiful
Tommy,
buds. Yes.
did you hear about the federal governor announcing that the current digital dollar proposals and how they
Okay.
can
So glad
open
you
a
said that.
private account and all that?
Yeah, I'm so glad you said that because let me show you what I've got pulled up right here. I was trying to go to it earlier, but we were deep in the conversation. But yeah, I found this, and so we should check this out on that subject for sure. It's all leading to the one world currency. So right here, BBC News yesterday or the day before, one day everyone will use China's digital currency. And they ain't
Surprise,
playing.
surprise.
Yeah, they're not playing. Yeah, they mean this right here. We'll use the B system's currency. They hope.
I
But
had people
anyway,
laugh at
Chandler,
me. I had
this
people
guy.
laugh at me when I told them about this a year ago. But
Look, yeah. So this guy's Chandler Guo or Guru, whatever, at one of his cryptocurrency mines. Look at all that cryptocurrency being, or this is what they're mining it.
Right, yeah.
All right. So it says he was a pioneer in cryptocurrency, the digital currencies that can be created and used independently of national central banks and governments. and he looks Chinese to me, doesn't he? Do you? Okay. So in 2014, he set up an operation to produce one of those currencies, Bitcoin, in a secret location in Western China. Hello.
oh, there's that country again.
Yeah, Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin. Yeah, mining Bitcoin is a power-hungry enterprise involving dozens of computers. So he used power from a hydroelectric station. Wow. In partnership with the local Chinese government official. At its peak, his machines were capable of mining 30% of the world's Bitcoin. Wow,
Wow.
that's a lot. He
Yeah.
believed Bitcoin would one day change the world and replace the dollar, but now he sees a new force emerging. See, now he sees a new force emerging, a payment system created by Chinese state known as a digital currency electronic payment, DCEP. It's really a digital version of China's official currency, the yuan, and Mr. Guo feels deception, deception. See, yeah, how that would work will become the dominant. It's not a globe currency. One day, everyone in the world will be using deception currency. He says. DCEP will be successful because there are a lot of Chinese people living outside China. There are 39 million Chinese living outside of the country. If they have a connection with China, they will use DCEP. They can make a DCEP. They can make DCEP become an international currency. But one question whether it will succeed, but many question whether it will succeed, and there are concerns that it will be used by Beijing to spy on citizens. Of course, it would be. They spy on all their citizens, 24/7. Like Bitcoin, Decept utilizes a blockchain technology. No surprise there. A type of digitized ledger used to verify transactions. Blockchain acts as a universal record of every transaction ever made on that network, and users collaborate to verify new transactions when they occur. In practice, that means that users don't need a bank if, for example, they want to pay other pay each other, perhaps with their phones. China plans to launch DCEP later this year, but so far the People's Bank of China has not given an exact date of the nationwide launch. China began testing the digital currency earlier this year in selected cities, like they were testing 5G. When rolled out, it will allow users to link downloaded electronic wallets to their bank cards and make transactions and money transfer.
Who do you think's mining this cryptocurrency for them? The citizens.
Right.
On
Well,
the
they
social network.
want to get it where your body will mine it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But over there now, the citizens are mining it for them. It's just not hooked up to your body yet, like you say, like with the nanobots and you know.
Yeah.
But we are mining it. Like if you look at it, we've been mining the currency, because our birth certificate is like a receipt, when how they make money on it on the stock exchange. So
Yeah,
they
yeah,
been,
yeah.
it's basically the same shit. It's just this is all digital now.
It's our labour. They're
Yeah,
mining our labour.
before you could say before it was analog, and now it's digital. It's crypto.
It's funny though. It's funny though, isn't it? Because there's so many people out there that are saying that cryptocurrency is the future and it's our savior and it'll save us from the evil Rothschilds banking system,
right.
which is backed by nothing. The same as digital currency.
Right. In fact, you're mining it for
and
them.
that's their goal. They want us all to fucking
Tommy, I dropped
to
a link in the chat
want us
to
all,
another article that's pretty interesting regarding it.
yeah, they want us all to be
All
on
right, well,
digital currencies. They want to remove cash. They
Right.
want a one world currency with a blockchain.
Yep. As we mined it, as
it's a trap.
yeah.
That's all it
can
is.
you can you send it to me in the private chat? Because I can't get it out of that one, but I might be able to get it out of the private chat.
And I don't deny that people have made money, from Bitcoin
I
and
will
other
be able to
digital
get that
currencies. But in the end, they won't.
Yeah,
Because
I don't know how to do that with this because I have StreamYard on the laptop and I have
Yeah.
YouTube.
You don't see private chat. You see private chat. The option on the
Yeah, but
side where it's
I only have this tab open on the laptop, so I don't know. But it's under SOMAG, SOMAG. If you pull it up in Google, and then it's federal
announces
governor
currency.
announces current digital dollar.
Yeah.
I was very tempted. I was.
Well, you can screen share and show it. I'll let you screen share.
Yeah, but it's on my phone, and I'm on here talking to you on a laptop.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
she can't do
I thought
anything
you
while she's
had
here.
it on there too.
No,
Yep. Okay. Well, I can get it.
I told you I'm terrible with this.
My Facebook.
I'm terrible too, Jennifer.
Hmm.
I can't do anything. It's amazing I'm even here.
Ooh, that was painful.
I gotta get a drink real quick, guys. I'll be right back.
All
I'll
right.
get down.
Yeah, I know people have made a lot of money with digital currency, especially Bitcoin. But in the end, they won't. In the end, they're going to lose it all. It's all going to be gone because it doesn't exist. It's in the cloud.
Yeah. It's it's make believe.
Yeah. Real money was used, but that's already been stolen. That doesn't
Yeah,
exist anymore.
that's when it was on the gold standard. It was real money.
Yeah, no, I'm saying the people that have invested in digital currency, they've used real money to invest in it, and they think they've made a lot more because the market still exists and the fantasy, is still around. But it'll only take a reset, a blackout or whatever. You know what I mean? It'll take the blink of an eye and it'll be gone.
Right.
There's nothing they'll be able to do about it. And we know that's the plan for the future because they used Bitcoin on the cover of the Economist magazine in, was it 1988?
Right.
Hey, Joe Dirt.
The phoenix rising out of the ashes with the Bitcoin gold chain around its neck.
Yeah.
So that's the future.
Yeah. Well, that's order out of chaos too, the Phoenix.
Yeah. Freemasonic as well. Yeah.
Have any of y'all see this this here about the lost surfboard? A surfer lost his board in Hawaii, and it reappeared in the Philippines more than 5,000 miles away. Well, that could be why we explain why it's flat Earth. Yeah.
That's the only thing that proves right there.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. We should look at it because. But anyway, it's crazy.
Well, he's a
where is Hawaii? Where is Hawaii compared to the Philippines?
It's a long way away, mate.
Well,
obviously 5,000 miles, but I mean, on their globe, globe theory thing,
Oh yeah, Philippines is next to Japan, between Japan and Australia. So,
what, the Philippines is next to Japan?
Between Japan and Australia, man. Yeah.
Oh shit! Well, Hawaii's on the other side of the. Be on the other side of the globe, then.
That's right. It's a long way.
I would think it would be a lot further than 5,000 miles.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But
I would think it would be a lot further.
Yeah, it doesn't seem that far. 5,000 miles.
Hawaii to Philippines. Yeah, I would think so.
I'd say 10,000 miles.
I mean, it's on the other side of the world, really.
Yeah, it is.
Bill Gates. Here, Bill Gates predicted the when the end of COVID will be.
Oh yeah, he predicted it, huh?
Hold on, he's got a prediction for us.
I ate before.
Not wasted.
A little. Too much, man.
Bill Gates.
Leave it.
There's no food on.
Oh, let's see. Yes, wait.
I think I got it in the private chat. I'm not sure.
Gil Bates. Gil Bates. Has predicted date for the end of the pandemic.
And when's that?
Bill Gates has predicted strap in, folks. Coronavirus pandemic isn't ending for a while, according to Bill Gates. And he's saying 2022. He said it's not going to be over until in 2022.
That's what they told us, man. It's going to be 2 years before the vaccine comes out. Yeah.
Huh.
2 years of lockdown, wearing face masks, social distancing, all the bullshit. Only 2 more years.
That's
Started
groovy.
out as 2 weeks.
Yeah, right, right. Yeah, yeah. Lockdown for this 2 weeks. Yeah.
Just only 2 weeks. You can do it. We're all in this shit together.
Flatten that curve.
Flatten the curve.
He said, okay, here he goes. Speaking to Fox News Sunday, Gates of Hell said he believes life will return to a quasi-normal in summer of 2021 due to a potential COVID-19 vaccine. I'm sorry, which which is likely to be released sometime early in 2021. However, he doesn't see an end to the pandemic until the following year. Pandemic, the end of the epidemic. Best case is probably 2022, but during 2021, the numbers we should be able to drive them down.
Why
If we
do we
take
even listen to
that's
this
all
guy?
not a
because
globe
of
approach.
science.
Why does this guy even have an opinion?
I
Why do we
don't
have to listen
know.
to him?
That's what gets me. Why does he have an opinion on why we need to take a
because
vaccine? Yeah, but that's
he's
what
the
I mean.
vaccine man. He's
He's funding the plan.
expert.
That's all.
Yeah, well, he's the virus man. We know that.
He's the virus.
He's the virus man.
You know. I was talking to someone about a week and a half ago, Tommy, and this guy's he had no mask on. I did a delivery to this guy's house. It was in the country, just off a highway, right? Sort of going out of town, but not too far away from town. Anyway, I've turned up at his property, fairly decent sized property. I'd probably say, a couple of acres, long driveway, and he'd built a big shed at the front of the property, all with crushed rock. It just all been freshly laid, brand new shed, like a big shed, right? Like something's going to be going on in there, like a workshop or whatever. Property at the back, fruit trees, all this shit. Anyway, yeah, he's come running up to me, when I wasn't sure if I was in the right place or not, and no mask, and he was an Italian guy, probably about, I'd say Italian background, but Australian born, small guy, about my age. Anyway, I'm talking away to him, and he said, what do you think about the vaccine? He said, would you take it? And I said, not a chance in hell, mate. And we started talking. Right. And we started talking, and you know what he said to me, Tommy? We started talking about Bill Gates and the vaccine, right? Because he'd asked me that question. And he said, my brother thinks that Bill Gates is the devil. And I said, he well could be.
Yeah, right.
I said, your brother's onto it, mate.
Wow. Yeah. Man, oh man. Link in the private chat. Yeah, I got it. Can y'all see this? The Fed governor announces current digital dollar proposals.
Yeah, that's bad. So that's a bad sign. That's not good.
Cleveland Fed President Loretta Mester announced the proposals for the digital dollar project and the Fed's response to these proposals. In his speech on September 23rd, that was 3 years from the Revelation 12 sign, just a few days ago, 3 days ago. Mester talked about the steps taken so far on the digital dollar and the Fed's current policy. Cleveland Fed President Mester announced that they started researching the concept of digital central bank money, CBDC.
Awesome.
Yeah, man. Yeah, don't start nothing, Missy and Louie. Cat.
You an extra cat.
before the pandemic started. Mester mentioned that this research process accelerated with the pandemic and conveyed some digital dollar concepts that have been proposed so far. According to Mester's statements, the following suggestions were made on how to use the digital dollar. The Fed can open a private account for each American citizen, and citizens can deposit digital dollars into this account.
Oh, thank you.
Uh, and a digital dollar could be developed that could be used as digital cash, and it's generated directly by the Fed. The Fed can transfer the digital dollar directly to end user, in other words, to the citizen's digital wallet without the need for any commercial bank brokerage.
It's getting closer to the mark of the beast, man.
Yeah,
That's
man,
what it
it
is.
definitely is.
Yep.
No final decision made yet. It is known that the U.S. Federal Reserve has been studying the digital dollar idea for a few months and has been working in this area. Cleveland Fed President, Mester made statements confirming this process to his speeches in the speech yesterday. Mester said that the Fed is continuing to measure and weigh the digital dollar idea. Crazy, man. Very crazy. Okay, so Jennifer, you want to say anything about it?
Yeah, it's talking that first bullet point. It talks as in that it can do it, like current, not that they're testing it. But then if you read that, and a couple other articles I read said that they were testing all this out before coronavirus or whatever they call it, COVID-19 or whatever, and that they were testing it prior to that, the whole digital dollar. But that first bullet point says that they can deposit. That sounds to me like they're capable now. Can is current, right? The Fed can.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I know that
I
they
know it's
were
available.
trying to roll it out, but yeah, before COVID, for sure they were. I mean, that's part of their goal, like with the chip. That was, that's what they wanted to roll out with the chip. That's one of the first things that they tried to roll out with the chip was the digital currency, and it got shot down right away in ID 2020. But yeah, of course, sure it was trying to do it before COVID.
Right, but I think that the bigger picture here that we need to remember is whatever we talk about, like if we're talking about the vaccine, I think that they tend to start going more after digital dollar. If we talk about masks, they'll start going after vaccines more. It's like they always want to push whatever we're not talking about the most, and we need to be
Well,
we don't leave anything out.
That's to distract us too, though.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, Jennifer. Yeah, it's true. Yep. What you just said before, Rick.
What's that?
What you just said before about
That it distracts us?
about ID 2020. That's disappeared off the radar recently. I haven't heard anybody talk about it until you just said it now. I forgot all about it.
Right. Well, that's because they don't want to really. I think maybe they changed the name of it, or they just don't want
That's
to
it,
be
Rick.
public as it was. I think they got off of that ID 2020 because we did shoot it down so quick, and they're just going to change the fucking name of it.
Yeah.
Yep, that's exactly it. Just like everything else.
They're
Just
going
like
to hush it down a little bit,
Corona.
yeah, and twist it another way.
Yeah.
Yep.
But Jennifer made a good point. Yeah, they do distract us, and they push us into opposite directions from where we were starting to look at. You know,
Right,
so
right.
people,
But yeah, it
people
just sent us
lose
down
focus.
another rabbit hole. Yeah, to distract us. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like someone was saying earlier. I think it was Riley was talking about quantum of consciousness.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever watched him, but he
Yeah.
talks about
I watch it.
how the Matrix knows that we're talking
Yeah.
about it, and it throws
Oh,
out
yeah.
another rabbit hole for us to chase,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
like another scenario that'll break off of what's going on, but
Yeah.
is kind of a little
Yeah.
distraction to get us off of
Yeah.
what
They try
we're.
and keep. They want to keep us distracted, mate, so we can't focus. That's the goal, isn't it? Really.
Yep. Divide and conquer.
Yeah. And they've got
Track,
their,
divide, and conquer.
as Matt talks about, they've got their graduated animal farms. People find these larger YouTube channels, and they get stuck on that farm, and they can't see any way out. It's the same with the people who believe in Trump is gonna be the savior, and Q's got all the answers, and it's a code, and there's so much. There's just like an overload. I was recommended a channel who's a Q follower, and I subscribed to it. I can't even tell you who it is, but yeah, I think it's an Australian guy actually, and he made a lot of sense. But yeah, he just starts going down that down that rabbit hole of all the information that they want you to focus on that's connected to Q, and the child pedophilia, sex rings, and
Right,
I'm not
right.
denying that's not a real thing, and everybody knows about Epstein, and but there's an obvious distraction going on, and they want people to focus on something that they won't be able to do anything about.
Right,
And
right.
you
Yeah,
know,
Yep.
it's an endless
Like the
drought.
chemtrails.
Constantly keep on chasing it.
yeah,
It's
Yeah,
it
like
just
not
the
keeps it.
chemtrails.
Yeah,
right. Yeah,
Right, just like the climate change thing that they're pushing and
Yeah.
tying with all of this. It used to be called global warming, and before
that's
that,
right.
it was called greenhouse effect.
That's right.
right. Yeah, yeah.
All right. Now the chemtrails, they accumulate. They get so much up there that traps in the heat, and so they are creating a fake global warming type situation. By doing that. See,
Right,
and
they're changing the climate, not us.
yeah,
With the
exactly.
crap that they spray and whatever
Yes.
else they do, and
Yeah.
conjuring up.
All the stuff they're doing. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because that was more intense research I did about that climate change as of recent. I mean, I'm not done with it, but any changing is their doing, not ours. Our little differences are not making a huge difference the way they claim it to be.
Could be. Oh, yeah, yeah. The propaganda so they can do what they want to do and push their agenda, and that's exactly what they're doing.
Who didn't switch to a roll-on deodorant in the 80s? Come on, be honest.
Yeah, you remember that the ozone from
Yeah, got to
hairspray,
save the ozone layer.
deodorant. Yeah, remember acid rain?
Yeah, I
Remember
don't
hearing
remember.
about acid rain? Whatever happened to acid rain?
I heard about it. Yeah,
Yeah, never
never
seen it.
experienced it.
Never seen it.
I never seen it. I never saw it.
Heard about
That's
it.
funny.
That's about it. Never seen acid rain.
Nah.
They're
Sounds like
supposed to
something.
melt your jacket off. Supposed to melt paint off of cars.
Well, that's funny, Rick. That actually happens here, but I don't think it's acid rain. I think it's just shit paint. That's what I think it is.
Yeah, probably.
They seem to, I don't know. It has to be bad manufacturing, because every car that's been made since, I'd say, the late 90s, I'd say you'd probably say around 2000. Every car
Right.
that's been made since the year 2000 has very poor paint, and they all seem to wear out within 10 years, mate. All the paint.
Wow.
Bonnet roof in Australia, yeah, it's common.
Wow.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yes, this world is crazy.
I know. To talk about paint coming off of cars, I know we sell a thing here in the States. I don't know if you have it in Australia, but it's called baloney.
Baloney. No.
Yeah, it's called baloney. And if you throw baloney on a car, you let it sit for about 24 hours. You remove the baloney. You'll tear the paint off with it. The baloney will strip
Wow.
the paint off. And this
Yeah.
is something we eat. It's a lunch meat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
I haven't ate it in a long time, thank goodness.
I haven't eaten bologna in a while neither. I never really liked it. The only time I eaten
Oh, I
bologna,
did like it.
the only time I eaten bologna
One-
when I've been in jail. They give you bologna and cheese sandwiches in jail.
Is this
fried bologna sandwiches, though.
would you call that luncheon meat? Is it the same
Yeah,
thing?
it's a lunch
Yeah.
meat. Yeah, it's a lunch.
Yeah, lunch.
My
Yeah.
mum used to make sandwiches out of that shit.
Well, there's different lunch meats. You got
Oh,
ham,
yeah.
turkey. You
You
know,
can
you
get
got
it as a loaf, though.
salami. You know, this is bologna. This is like a loaf.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a loaf.
Yeah.
It's like
But
a
it's
sausage.
a little different, Matt, but it's similar. It's similar. It's very similar.
Right.
A
Yeah.
sausage, a sausage meat wrapped in foil, but it doesn't have a
Yeah.
skin. There's no skin. There's no skin. There can't be a sausage without a skin. Come on.
Yeah, good old bologna. Throw it on a car, you make a polka dot.
Well, that's the same with Coca-Cola, mate. You know, you can clean battery terminals. It kills rust. You know, but
Right.
people drink it.
Yeah,
It's
did you
acid.
ever see that video? It's a Coke. They have a Coca-Cola can or a Pepsi can or something, and they do something with it, and it like plastify. It makes the aluminum like plastic. Or what it does is it erodes the aluminum away, and the plastic lining is still
Wow.
like you see the plastic.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Yeah, because they have a film in there, a plastic. So your drink is never touching the aluminum.
Aluminum,
It-
right. Yeah, exactly.
It's like a condom. It's like a condom in there,
Kind
or
of,
well,
yeah,
whatever it means,
BPAs.
like a
It's
sack.
the BPAs. Yeah, it's a sack. Exactly.
But
Tommy,
you
did
can
you
use
see
a
that
certain kind-
comment by Plain Drifter about the lead paint? That's a really good comment.
Where let me see.
What about the lead paint?
Right there, lead free paint, as lead paint turns your house into a Faraday box.
Oh yeah, the old
Wow.
lead paint that they outlawed. Yeah, that's why they got rid of it.
Right.
That's why they got rid of it, because it's exactly what it did.
Joe Imbriani used to talk about that. Yeah, he still talks about it, I reckon.
Yep. Yepper.
Yeah,
I remember
sure.
lead paint on babies' cribs, mate. I'm old enough to remember that. It was really hard, mate. Really hard and shiny.
Yeah, the lead paint, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
You
and
couldn't chew it. You
and
couldn't
it
chew it
wasn't.
unless you were a.
It isn't as dangerous as they say it was. It really
Yeah.
isn't.
They said babies used to chew it off cribs.
Yeah,
mate.
get paint. Yep. Well, you were probably putting the lead in the fucking vaccine. You laugh
Worse than
at
that. Worse than that, Rick.
getting the lead from the vaccine.
No,
Yeah, the
yeah,
lead might
yeah.
have helped.
There's all kinds of stuff in those, so it's voodoo.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. We weren't getting it from eating paint chips. The fuck out. That's the truth.
Pig lips. Yuck, yuck, yuck.
Yeah.
Holy moly. Craziness.
Cars that were painted with lead paint, mate, they still got paint on them. The original paint. I'm looking at one right now. It's next to me, man. It's a 1984, and it's still got paint.
Yeah.
Doesn't fade, doesn't peel off, doesn't change.
Right.
Yeah.
Good
As
interest.
soon as they
That's
changed to acrylic, man, they just cut corners left, right, and centre. The two major manufacturers which are in Australia before, which were Ford and Holden, which is General Motors. They cheaped out in the 90s, man, and not from the late 90s up until they probably haven't changed. The paint's probably still shit. It just looks shiny for a while. It doesn't even last 10 years, mate, and it's peeling off. It's crap.
Can y'all see this article?
Oh yeah.
New moon mini. Oh my
A
goodness.
new mini moon is about to join Earth's orbit.
Are you
It
kidding
could be a
me?
booster rocket from the 60s. Yeah, no, I wish, but this is
I heard NASA's
CNN.
going back to the
A
moon.
new.
Mate. Have you heard about that? NASA's going back to the moon.
Did you hear about who they're sending up to space? Which Tom Cruise, right?
Oh, get the fuck out of
Is it
here.
Tom Cruise or
Mission Impossible.
one of them guys. They're gonna send them up there. Oh, I forget.
Mission Impossible, mate.
But yeah, a mini moon is set to enter Earth's orbit this year. A mini moon is on track to enter Earth's orbit and come as close to 27,000 miles away. However, rather than some asteroid that will orbit around the Earth, it may actually just be some old space junk that made its way back to our planet. Plane. Oh boy.
They better move some space junk to make some room.
Yeah, so
for the
this
new moon.
guy, Dr. Paul Chodis, the director of NASA's Center for Near Earth Object Studies, believes that the object named Asteroid 2020 SO is an old booster rocket from the 1960s. I suspect this newly discovered. Huh?
It's not a mini moon.
It's a booster rocket.
It's space junk.
It's a rocket moon.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
A rocket moon.
It's a rocket moon.
It's
Rocket
a rocket
moon.
Rocket moon.
Sing it, Tommy. Rocket moon.
It's a rocket moon.
Related article NASA outlines. Listen to this. Related article NASA outlines 28 billion plan to land the first woman on the moon by 2024.
I heard a news report on the radio, man, a couple of days ago. They said that NASA are going back to the moon by 2023, I think it was. The first time since 1972 that men have stepped on the moon.
Oh my goodness. Oh,
Right.
that's such.
It must be true. I heard it on the radio.
Yeah. Seen it on the TV.
Oh. Here's a good article too. I wanted to share with y'all. Let it load.
I seen that they were on that their television. They landed on the moon there.
Yeah. There's people that heard the moon landing on the radio, mate. That's why it's real.
There's people that heard the Martians take over the Earth on the radio too.
Yeah.
It's called War of the Worlds.
Mm. Tom Cruise was in that one too.
The pandemic may be affecting your memory.
Oh,
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The pandemic.
Imagine that. Well, I mean,
You might
It
remember
sounds
when you
like
were
the
free.
Oh my goodness.
so so basically the flu may be affecting your memory. Yeah, nah. Research shows difficult events may lead to inaccurate memories. Research demonstrates our memories are not as accurate as we believe. Why? See, this is what they try and demonize our memories. While most people think their memories represent the truth, evidence demonstrates that our memories are.
Sorry.
Hold on. While most people think our memories represent the truth, the evidence demonstrates that our memories depend on very much on the circumstances we are experiencing at the time, and that they shift over time.
Oh, the
A
chef.
large body of
They shift, all right.
research shows that emotions, especially those provoked by negative events, can lead to inaccurate or even completely false memories. Oh dear, that's nuts.
But they
Wow.
shift.
Depression, anxiety, stress, three mental health problems linked to the COVID-19 pandemic. Consistently consistently lead to false memories, says Charles sorry, Brainerd, a Cornell University psychologist, and one of the world's leading experts in false memories. Oh boy, yeah, I'm sure this guy's
Expert
addressed
in
the
false memories, eh?
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah, he's an
Expert.
expert, all right.
yeah, at the backstory, at creating the backstory of it. uh, so let's see here. Where was I at? Brainerd and his research partner, Cornell psychologist Valerie Reyna, have developed the fuzzy trace theory of false memory, which says that there are two types of memory: verbatim and gist.
It's
Did you get the
always
gist?
two.
Verbatim memory is vivid, literal record of specific details. Gist memories are fuzzy recollections of past events, which capture their meaning and have much more powerful influence over longer periods of time. In other words, if you are remembering an event from a year ago, you are more likely to rely on the gist of what happened rather than the specific details. False memories occur when your brain attempts to fill in the blanks of just memory. Wow. So there you go with some psychology today on false memories, and that they believe the pandemic is
I feel much better now, Tommy.
why. Yeah, reading that. Yeah.
I've been
Uh,
reassured by this story. It's just false memories.
The researchers concluded that a person's knowledge about COVID-19 and his or her tendency to think critically
Please
are
don't think
important
critically.
indicators as are important indicators as whether or not they create false memories related to the pandemic. Crazy, crazy.
We are creating false memories.
Yeah, it's all our fault. Stop it, Rick. Can you please?
We are creating false memories.
You know what I'm looking forward to is the recap on 2020 on New Year's Eve before the
Oh
fireworks.
yeah, yeah.
It'll be coronavirus. That's it. That's all
Yeah.
that happened. Nothing else happened.
Coronavirus. Corona.
Right?
Corona.
COVID.
Yeah, COVID. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You'd probably have the same propaganda pumped out on your TVs as well on New Year's Eve, before the fireworks.
I
All
have
the events that happened for the year,
you want to
throughout the
know?
year.
I got a blanket over my TV in my living room. I do. I got a blanket over it.
I can't watch
Yeah,
it
it's
anymore,
cute.
mate. I'm over it. I can't do it.
Mm, mm.
It's just it's the same shit every day. It's like Groundhog Day every day.
I
You
just
gonna
haven't
get
come to my senses to break it because it's my father's and he just passed about 2 years ago. So
oh right, okay.
it was his TV.
Joe Dirt says, "What about CRS memories? Can't remember shit. Remember shit. CRS. do, 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 do.
Yeah, no, it's
What,
just been a total write off.
did Jen fall asleep? Or are you still with us?
I'm still here. I was just gonna say, if our
Wow.
memory's so bad, why am I getting a notice for 16-week jury duty grand jury something in a couple towns over from me for 16 weeks starting in October?
Oh, lovely.
You got to go, you're saying, or what?
Well, I got the notice, so then I called them because the online thing says that you can't just fill it out online if you're trying to have a hardship excuse or whatever. And so I called them and I spoke to a really nice lady, and she's sending me a form in the mail that will act as a certified something. And I got to fill it out that I'm a stay at home mom with the 4 boys, and one's a preemie, and blah, blah, blah. And she said, they're not going to mandate I go because I have the kids, and who's going to watch my kids and do the
No chance.
schoolwork? And one has health issues, and yeah, no. I said I can't go. I cannot leave them. I mean, and I, not for nothing, but I won't wear a mask anyway. But I didn't tell her that. I just said
Right.
that, the kids, and
Right.
she totally got it. So
Wow.
she's mailing me a form, and then the other form is supposed to come. So we'll see what happens. But I mean, if our memory's so bad, why are they calling me out to
Yeah,
be
exactly.
on a grand jury? I mean, a grand jury. Like,
Yeah,
it's-
yeah.
That's a big one, yeah. That's
Yeah,
a serious.
and you know, hey, you know that you could end up having nightmares for a long time, depending on what you have to witness.
Grand jury.
Um,
That'll be death penalty
the
related.
grand jury that had to witness my daughter's, you know, the stuff that my daughter was involved in, my youngest daughter, they had nightmares for a long time, maybe still do. And I don't, and yeah, and I hate that they had to see that stuff, and I wasn't allowed to see it, nor would I have wanted to, you know. So, oof, yeah,
I'm not doing it.
Death penalty or life sentence usually, isn't it?
yeah.
When you
So
get to
hopefully you
grand
don't have to go do that.
it's going to be some serious shit going on.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Yeah, if it's a grand jury.
I'll come up with a way around it regardless, but I do have the kids, and no one can do what I do for them.
Yeah.
Like, no one can. Kevin's a preemie. He was a pound at birth. Like,
Yeah.
before
Just
COVID, he
having-
hardly went to school.
Just
So,
having 4 kids should be bad enough. Should be reason enough not to have to go.
well, she seemed to think it wouldn't be an issue whatsoever at all, me not going. Especially in light of the current situation, she said. Those are her words. So.
Yeah.
But still, the notice is there. Like,
I'm not trying to help government departments with jury trials, but yeah, I've never done jury duty, and I turned 50 this year, so I'm pretty sure I'm not going to get asked. You never know.
Right.
It's like they've avoided me my whole life. They don't want to know me.
I've never done it before.
I've always avoided it. Every time I got something in the mail, I normally say, believe it or not, I'm prejudiced.
I've never even been asked, mate. It's never happened to me.
They throw it right out the window. That's all you have to say is you're prejudiced.
Yeah. Well, when you tell them that I know that your whole system's corrupt and I don't believe anything that's on TV, they probably won't.
Right.
That'll do it.
How about I just mail it back, not guilty?
There you go.
That'll do.
You you send it back saying, "I got a premonition. He's not guilty. Yeah, I got a vision." So there, no need
Whoever
for
it
me.
is, whatever they did, they didn't do it.
That's my cousin.
I've
Conflict of interest.
witnessed
That's my
I've
cousin.
witnessed corrupt courts with corrupt juries, mate. So yeah, I know what's going on. So they won't want me to be there. It's crazy, mate. It's crazy. That was the only thing that we had to fall back on. If you actually believed in the system at all, was a jury trial. Now you can't even trust that.
Nope. Nope.
And they've been suspended here. Jury trials have been suspended in my state since March. There hasn't even been one, mate. So anybody who wants to go to trial for any reason, since March, they have the choice to adjourn it until the possibility of a jury trial might come back. But if you go to trial now for any serious matters, you'd be crazy because you've only got a magistrate. That's all you got. It's a kangaroo court, or what they call a star chamber, where there won't be any justice. The state will win. You will lose. You have no hope.
All right.
Oh, did y'all get the notice on this? Airborne Saint did a Mandela effect debunked.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I did see the notification that he just put out
I'm not familiar.
to it.
Is it the actual diagram, the picture that's the Mandela effect? Is it the picture, Tommy?
You guys
Fruit and
have to
Loom?
go to bed. Much love, everyone. I think he means he has to go to bed. But
Yeah.
you guys, what were you saying, Matt?
I'm not
Oh,
going to
green.
bed. Don't tell me to go to bed, David.
Yeah, Dave. You guys gotta go to bed. What?
All right. Good night.
Good night, John Boy.
What were you saying though before that, Matt? What?
What's the Mandela effect in that Fruit and Loom? Is it in the actual
The cornucopia,
the picture?
The cornucopia is not there anymore, and the Fruit
I'm
Loom
not
logo.
familiar with the Fruit and Loom. I don't know that business.
Really? Fruit
Yeah.
Loom underwear?
Never heard of it. No.
Wow. Yeah, it's underwear. They have fruit. It used to be with a cornucopia, and now it's never had the cornucopia. It's crazy, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what his deal with that one is though. I mean, it's we need to probably watch it. Let me pull it up. I guess we'll watch it.
Looks like a farmer's market sign to me, man. I don't know. I'm not familiar with it.
Yeah, I always remember the cornucopia with the Fruit of the Loom.
Right. Mm-hmm. All right. Go here. Go like that.
What are you going to show, Tommy?
I'm gonna check out what that video that Airborne Saint put out. If it'll come up. The windows I got open. Man, it's been 4 weeks already since I was live on my.
Yeah, I know. I haven't seen you in a while, Tom.
Was it 4 weeks? No shit.
I've been on the backup channel though,
Yeah,
but this is my main channel. We're looking at right here, and it was 4 weeks ago. All right, here we go. Airborne Saint uploaded this. Let's see what he's got. Figures would be an ad. Figures. Do, 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 do. 45 minutes long. Holy
Wow.
crap. Only 32 views so far because it was just less than an hour ago. 30 minutes ago. So. Come on, come on.
The date is September 26, 2020. We've been trying to get a debate going on people that don't see the Mandela effect changes. And when I say we, mostly myself and Wake Up or Else, also known as John in real life. We've had schedule differences and stuff like that, so we haven't been able to really put together a debate. But we did have somebody counterpoint one of his videos, channel called Logic. And I watched the video. The guy is dressed all in black with a background of purple. If you guys don't know what putting purple behind you means, we can talk about that later. That's immaterial to the art. The guy's not exposing his face, so that's interesting. I don't know why. That may be his character. I don't really follow his channel so much, but I'm going to subscribe so I can follow him and see what that's all about. There's many reasons not to show your face, as you guys are well aware. His argument is mostly ad hoc argument, which is basically, when I say ad hoc, I mean name calling, those type of things, which is really a weak position to take. His link to his video will be in the description of this video. I'm not going to repost his video because I don't know where the permissions lie with his channel and who actually funds that channel. And I don't know anything about him whatsoever. No, he has about 140 something thousand subscribers, which means he's probably funded, he's probably supported, or maybe just successful with his message. Who knows? But John's counterpoint is here, and the link to Logic's video is in the description. I suggest you watch Logic's video first and then watch this counterpoint so it makes more sense to you. And it's fun to debate it. I bring this video to you not with anger whatsoever, but with curiosity, because I believe, and many believe, that prophecy is unfolding. If you can prove it wrong, great. I haven't seen anybody do it yet, but go ahead and try. Now enjoy this video. Check out both arguments. Form a good opinion. This is my face, Logic. Where's your face?
Hey, this is Wake Up or Else, and this is a response to a video that someone sent me by Logic, and I'm just going to call him LG because Logic is really hard to say. And in his video, he's trying to dismantle and debunk the Mandela effect using one of my videos that I created. And I appreciate LG. I love his love for the truth. He's got some good insights into certain things at a certain level, and he's definitely gifted. But you know, you can't really know God with your head. You can only know him with your heart. And so LG is really kind of out there with those that God talks about in Romans 1:22, professing themselves to be wise, they became fools. Someone said that a man with an experience is not at the mercy of a man with an argument. And don't get me wrong, I've got an open mind. I'm listening, okay? I'm listening to what you're saying, LG, but your arguments are unpersuasive. See, you can't just override a man's vivid memory with a decree because you watched a TED Talk on implanted thoughts and confabulation. You have to admit
that part
that when you are saying I'm misremembering, it's only a suggestion on your part. It's a presumption. Okay, you don't know if I'm misremembering or not. I would just like to state that for the record. All right, because vivid memories are a mix of a lot of aspects of the human condition. It involves our volition, our emotional realm, the spirit man, his mind, his very being, his conscience. This is a very complex and mysterious realm of the human condition, and it can't be easily understood and picked apart by mere mortals. The Word of God comes to us, and it says the Word of God is sharper than any two-edged sword, cutting asunder even to soul and spirit, discerning the intent of the heart. Yet the unconvinced seem to be willing to wade into it with an air of intellectual superiority that seems very inappropriate to me. Okay, because if you're going to persuade me and many like me in the Mandela Effect community that we're just kind of befuddled, right? We're just making a big deal out of nothing. You're going to have to produce some sort of evidence to show how we are experiencing what we're experiencing. Okay, if it's a psyop, how are they doing it? How? How did they go into all the millions of homes and put the VHS with the wrong wording on the back of it? Okay, things like that don't add up to us, because what we know is what we're experiencing is not misremembering. Okay, it's something quite different, I assure you. It is a mystery. In fact, the Mandela Effect is actually an end time sign and wonder. That's really what it is. It's clearly been foretold in the ancient writings. So this is going to be a two-part response video. The first here is going to be an attempt to hammer out the basics as you have in your video, and the follow-up video will then respond point to point to each of your arguments with clear, concise responses, citing specific evidence for each one. My goal is not to prove anybody wrong, but to open a dialogue, okay? And with that, I'm going to allow you to begin from your video. Here we go.
Anyway, today I'm diving into something that I've occasionally got requests for years. I bet you can't guess what it is unless you read the title. Spoiler warning, don't read the title. Yeah, it's the Mandela Effect. If you're not familiar with this, basically it's a conspiracy theory, or no, that's not the right word. It's not really about a conspiracy. Anyway, today I'm diving.
Okay, so what I'd like to do and start my analysis is by pointing out that LG almost used that conspiracy theory term to describe the Mandela Effect. He pulled back there, but his willingness to invoke this mind control word is very telling to me. This shows me to some degree that he is not as learned as you might think, because all he's doing when he invokes that word, conspiracy theorist, is he's regurgitating talking points that were created in the late 1960s, and they were designed to crush and silence truth seekers, people that were questioning in that day the official story regarding the JFK assassination. So if you're a listener of LG, it's probably because you love the truth. And so here's the truth about the word conspiracy theory. It was created and released by the CIA in 1967 in an attempt to quell and silence people that were questioning JFK's assassination. And so the CIA issued a bunch of directives that were given to news outlets and journalists and in different publications to begin to psyop them and manage what was actually, in fact, a conspiracy. We now know this to be true because the documents were unclassified after 50 years by Trump, and this is now in the records.
By Trump.
What we know is from the unclassified documents that there was, in fact, a conspiracy. The Surgeon General's report on the assassination stated the first bullet entered the president's throat below the Adam's apple, clearly showing that two persons were involved with the first shot being fired. So when LG uses that term to shame people regarding the Mandela Effect, all he is a mind control victim. Because the truth is that there really was a conspiracy. So I just think LG should apologize to all the conspiracy theorists in the whole world, including me, especially since he used the word dumb and smug to describe my video. But that's all right. I'm a Christian. I'll forgive you, LG. No harm, no foul. All right? So anyway, I'll do it for you. There you go. So really, my primary response to LG's attempt to dismantle the Mandela effect is that we are not solely relying on our memories when we come to this conclusion that something unexplainable is happening. Now, I can't speak for everybody in the Mandela effect community, but I don't think I'm a lot different than a lot of fundamental Bible-believing Christians who claim that the Mandela effect is a real phenomenon and that we're not only relying on vivid memories, but also biblical prophecy, residual evidence, statistical probabilities, the existence of what we call flip-flops, shared experiences. In other words, you misremember a lot of things same way we do, and then all the other people that are in our community forget them or don't remember them or do remember them, whatever, the same way we do. And then notable figures who have come forward. So let's take these one at a time. First of all, biblical prophecy, which I will not get into on this video, told us thousands of years in advance that this event would take place. There are 4 or 5 very distinct passages in the Bible which address this event. There are also extra biblical writings that also address this event by men that lived thousands of years ago. Okay, I recorded here on the screen, you can see a 48-minute analysis of these passages for anyone that would like to respond to this piece of evidence. And to date, no one has specifically refuted any of my biblical positions. So if you're going to convince me that I'm mistaken, one of the things I would need you to do is explain why I have been able to find this event that I'm experiencing in the prophecies of ancient writings. Good luck with that. Here's one, for example. Now, this is not in the Bible, but there is a book of Enoch, but it was not included in the canon of Scripture. However, Enoch's writings are quoted in the book of Jude, and he is mentioned in the Old Testament as well. So his writings are at least prophetic, and they have received the credibility of being quoted by one of the New Testament writers. And so Enoch's writings were very clear that what he was given by God was not for the people of his time, but only for those who would live in the last days. And we believe that we are in those last days, and this writing is for now. So Enoch said this, "And in the days of the sinners, the years shall be shortened, and their seed shall be tardy on their lands and fields." Now listen to this. "And all things on the earth shall alter." Boom!
Yep, alter. Change.
"And shall not appear in their time."
Tommy,
Bam!
Not appear in
Thank
time. Bam.
Biblical prophecy supports my position. You can just set aside the memory argument, okay? Because we have
for a second.
Enoch who walked.
I'm falling asleep here, fellas. I'm just gonna cut it. All right.
I've been nodding off a little bit too, but I'm listening. I mean, I haven't.
Yeah, I'm
fell asleep,
listening too, but I'm just in case I fall asleep. I don't want to.
I've been up for 12 hours.
You know what I mean?
It's getting late.
All right, I'll talk to you fellas later. I'll see you. You know.
Yeah, bro.
Sorry.
Yeah, you know, you're always welcome. Thanks, Rick.
Peace and love, everybody.
Yep. Hey, West Texas. Good morning. Good morning. So yeah, is that interesting to you, Matt? Were you getting into that?
How much longer has it got to go, mate?
Oh, too long. It's got a long time. I was gonna stop it soon anyway, but yeah. I'll drop.
If you want to go to bed, mate, that's cool. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm leaving right this second, but I'll drop the link into the chat so people can finish watching it if they want to, and I'll definitely check it out some more
It's
later.
good to catch up with you, mate. I'm glad you're good, mate. I'm glad you.
Man, I'm telling you, dude, I was so glad when I saw that you were on earlier because I was like, great, they haven't gotten him yet, you know. I hope they never do, you know. But I was like, wow, man.
I was worried about you, mate. Jesus, you had real problems. I'm all right.
You have the enemy on your doorstep. I mean, you know, I can deal with a storm. You got.
Yeah, no, I just do what I need to do, man. You know, and I avoid public when I'm not working, I don't go outside, man. I just avoid the public.
Mm-hmm.
You know. But all day I'm out at it, mate. I'm
When
going
did we
everywhere.
lose Jennifer? Oh, she said I'm going to listen and jump
Yeah,
off the stream. Thinking,
Yeah, she went
okay,
before me.
Jennifer,
Yeah.
much love. Yeah, I was like, what? Wait a minute.
Yeah.
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 So
I
what?
deal with all the like I drive around and through and past and
Uh-huh.
you know I'm surrounded by bullshit constantly all day every day. Everybody's wearing masks, man. Fucking,
I know.
you
Like I
know,
said,
but yeah.
there's still stores I go into that I'm the only one not wearing a mask, and it just, you know. But I guess it's starting to just
And
empower
you
me.
know,
It's starting to
the
just
worst thing
empower
for
me to
me,
keep doing it, though. You know, I mean,
yeah,
it just
yeah.
and
The
it makes
worst thing
it
for me,
easier.
Tommy.
Hmm.
The worst thing for me, mate. Right, like I swore I'd never wear a mask, you know, and I know many people have heard me say it, you know, and when they brought the law in, you know, that I had to wear the mask. I think I talked about it briefly before, you know, but it broke me, man. You know, I was ready to quit my job, but then I had a friend of mine who's a born again Christian as well, and he's a friend of mine that I work with. And I told you that one day, I think I've told you this before, that one day I'll have to get him here with me, and you know when you're doing a live stream or whatever, and we'll have a good chat because he's open minded and we have really deep conversations, you know, about spirituality and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
But
awesome.
he had a long talk with me, and like I've advised him before because you know I've got a bit more wisdom being older than he is, you know, and I've helped him out with other situations
Yep.
with my life experience, using that as a reference, you know, to try and advise him on what's going on with his life. But he helped me keep my shit together, man, because I was losing it when I heard about the mandatory mask laws that were coming in. Because you know, if I wanted to keep working for the company that I work for, I had to wear a face covering, you know, and I was totally against it. And I was ready to pull the pin, mate. Because I knew where we were going, you know, it was obvious. But yeah, so yeah, I had to bend to that, and that's normalised normalise it a little bit for me, you know. So automatically, like I don't even want to. It's too hard. It's too much to deal with, you know. It's just like everywhere you go, man. Everybody's wearing a mask. Every store, you know. It's
And
crazy.
every
Man.
store's selling them now too.
Oh
Almost.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, I've seen so many masks for sale.
We you know, you've got the pressure of the peer pressure,
Mm-hmm.
but without the fines and the. I mean, you know, you've still got the threat of police, obviously, you know, being called or whatever, but the fine threat and the militarized police here, and it's just it's out of control, man. There's nobody. I mean, unless you don't go out much and you just I don't know. Because I was normalised, because I had to wear them. They forced me to wear a face covering to keep my job. You know what I mean? So it became like what do you call it? A habit. You know, it became a forced habit. Not that I wanted it to be, but and I I write all over my face coverings, man. But it still kills me, man. It really does. It's and that's why I just like I've been a practicing hermit for 5 years, so it wasn't really a problem, but it's still
That's
a
what.
restriction
Yeah,
of
I was talking about
it's
that
still a
earlier.
restriction of freedom.
All these crazy things we've been through in our lives, how have helped prepare us, whether we know it or not, for this time. You know.
Yeah,
And
it's
yeah, man.
sad but true. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's all strengthening you, man. It's like hardening the sword. You know. You know about tungsten.
Yeah.
You know when you harden steel.
Hmm. Yeah.
You know you heat it up for so long, man. and then it becomes hardened. Heat it, cool it, heat it, cool it, and it, that's what we've been through. All the people that have been prepared for this. We haven't had easy lives, man.
Right.
We've already been in the fire, so we're prepared. We're hardened. I think that helps.
Yep, that part. Man, oh man. So what are you gonna do the rest of the weekend? Just relax and you can't
That's what I do.
can't do much, can you?
That's
So
what I do every weekend, man. You know what
Yeah.
I do long? I do long because the weather is getting better,
Uh-huh.
and I know I'm not the only one. I know people are going to lose their minds in Australia if they in Victoria, the state that I live in, if they can't have freedom when the good weather comes.
Yeah, man. I know.
Summer's coming. They're going to lose it, man. There's going to be problems if they don't get freedom. I tell you.
Yeah. So
It's sad.
are they pumping y'all full of propaganda daily, like oh, this thing's so bad it's killing blah blah blah, or are they just more focused on the laws and the enslaving, controlling part? What?
Oh, everything you've seen about Daniel Andrews, mate, that's daily. So yeah, he's not connected, man. He's got no connection to reality.
Right.
They only wear a mask when they need to, when the cameras are on them. Every time they give a press conference, they've got no mask, no fear, But they're telling you, while they're talking to you without a mask, they're telling you need to wear one.
Yeah. Yeah, like Trump refused to wear one at first,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's different rules, mate,
Of course.
Yeah. But the crazy thing is, man, the police who actually believe that they're doing a good thing by beating people up who want freedom, and because they're wearing masks and goggles because they've been told to, or they won't have a job. But they're not prescribing to the social distancing or the health and safety regulations that they're enforcing by beating you to a pulp and stealing your freedom and fining you.
Right.
While they gather in huge numbers, all linked together,
Uh-huh.
It's craziness, man. It doesn't even make any sense, but they still believe it. It's like everybody's under a spell. The majority.
Yeah.
It's sad.
I know it, brother. It is ridiculous and sad and pathetic. Yes. Texas says I have moisture pouches. They work great. I use them all the time. They keep the bud so good for.
Oh, if you're keeping your weed fresh, yeah. Yeah, I like it when it dries out a bit, mate. It turns into powder. It goes a bit further. When it's green, you have to smoke it in chunks. It's not good. Make it too quick.
Wow. What have we been on for? 252.
Yeah. It's been good to talk to you again, mate. I'm glad
Time
everything's
flies
good.
by so fast. I mean, how's it already been 3 hours? But we had quite a few people, going at it. But yeah, man. So I guess you're just gonna keep, getting on until they knock on your door or don't knock on it, right? I mean, I don't want you to live in fear. I mean, I'm
not in fear, man. I just won't open the door.
Right.
That's it.
Have you seen?
One thing I do want to get is a no trespassing sign. Though.
Have you seen any drones? Do they have any drones? Are they using drones?
Yeah, we've got drones, man. We've got spy aircrafts that are flying around.
Right.
I don't know if you heard me talk about it before, but PK made a video about. Oh, he didn't. He shared a video that another person sent to him about a spy plane that's been doing circles and forming inverted pentagrams around Melbourne.
Yeah, gosh.
On flight radar.
Lovely.
Yeah. But I've seen the spy plane. I've seen it once. I've heard it. I've heard it many times. I've only seen it once. But you know, there's always helicopters, and I think I saw a drone. I've heard about drones. Apparently, they're out early in the morning, watching for people that are breaking curfew at like probably 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh wow!
But I've seen something that looked very strange, man, on the way to work one morning. And if it was a drone, it was a huge drone, man. But it was something that was just like flashing. It was like a green blue light. It's just like flashing, and it made no noise, and it was as big as a helicopter, but it made no sound, man. I don't know what that was.
Yeah, so it probably was some kind of drone then. You know. Yeah. They have.
And that was over
all
my
kinds of sizes.
work. That was over my work when I was going to work in the morning.
Wow.
And by the time I'd parked my car and walked back outside, it was gone. You know.
Of course.
Yeah.
Wow, dude.
But I see lots of weird, strange things, man, at the back of my work because we're in like a valley, and there's a pretty wide view of the horizon. Like it's pretty wide, and you know, and flat, you know, obviously flat.
Yeah.
And I get a good view of the sunrise every morning, man. I see where the sun's coming up when I'm you know at work in the yard in the morning because it's to the east. And I see like as soon as the season changes, you know, and you start seeing neon pink sunrises, man. I see that.
Yeah.
And if
people say that those have always been around. I did not grow up seeing neon pink, purple. You know, no. Come on, man.
But that seems to have been a thing for the last couple of years. But
a few years. I have those videos on my thing too, not just chemtrails. I would make videos of the very vivid pink. So yeah, I mean, if anybody wants to see those, I've got a bunch of examples.
It's crazy
here. It's nuts, dude. I've seen a all pink rainbow too. Weird.
Pink rainbow.
Yeah. Weird.
But I've also seen like multiple, an extra sun, an extra source of light.
Yeah,
rising at the same time as the sun. But
there very well could be a sun simulator out there or two.
There's something going on there. I see weird shit. I see weird chemtrails. I see weird weather patterns. I see what
have you seen the spiderweb stuff? That spiderweb stuff, like Richie from Boston had showed.
I've seen lots of weird stuff, man. One video that Richie put up probably a couple of years ago now. It's raining here. But he put up a video. He stopped on the side of a freeway or a highway.
It was all over.
And he filmed the sky, right? When he stopped to film it, because it was a large traffic jam and he had to stop anyway. Yeah. So he got out of his car and he filmed the sky, and it was perfectly split in half. One side was blue, directly over his head that was split with a line, and the other side was completely chemtrailed, but there was a perfectly straight line from horizon to horizon over his head. I've seen that here in the local shopping centre where I live. Wow. Same thing. Half the sky was white with a perfect line dividing the sky. You know, over my head, like from north to south.
It might be a just
blue on the other side.
Yeah, it might be a prelude to what's coming when the scroll. They do like a scroll or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. It's nuts.
That's completely not natural. You know what I mean? It's a
straight line. Yeah.
Well, see, dividing the sky.
And look at the sun. I mean, I swear it used to be orange, yellow all the time, and now it's a white with like blue edges and whatever. I mean, it's just, dude.
It was yellow. It was yellow at the worst, man. It was never white. It was never white. Yeah. Not in my lifetime.
So it's crazy that they are getting away with that too. When is clearly different. It's changed. And the UV rays are off the chart. I've been allergic to the sun, the spring sun, for the last seven springs in a row. And
you've been saying, man. Yeah,
it's nuts, man.
I can't handle the sun in summer, man. Like when it's just
I
right
can
on.
handle it in the summer. It's the spring. When spring
Yeah.
comes, I'm literally the day it comes until like the week that summer's in. I break out in hives if I'm outside for more than 5-10 minutes. Just ma'am,
That
anywhere
spy
anywhere.
plane's flying over me now. Man.
Huh?
That spy plane is flying over
Oh
me
yeah.
now.
Imagine
Good
that.
timing, huh?
Yeah. Good grief. Chumps. You should get a sign that says something to them. I don't know.
Yeah. I thought about making a big LED of a big finger, man. Just like fuck off.
Right. Yep. Oh wow. Grenade.
Yeah, we don't get that much spring sun, man. It's always overcast, you know.
Ah, wow.
Now, I remember last year
Mhm.
I was wearing a jumper. I was wearing a jacket actually, probably till October,
Mhm.
and then from probably October to November, I was down to a jumper and long pants, and I wasn't wearing shorts and a t-shirt until like the beginning of the late November, I reckon.
Wow.
So pretty much the whole year was winter. It was 9 months of winter, man.
Yeah. Well, I think a mini ice age is coming, or at least a couple very cold winters. So I don't know. We'll see what
Yeah.
happens.
Well, it snowed here a couple of days ago, man, in the mountains.
Uh-huh. Nice. Um.
The
Yeah.
day before that was 80 degrees. This plane just turned around and it's flying back again, man. Can you believe it? This is bullshit, man. It just did a 90-degree turn. No shit. It's not even trying to hide the fact. There you go. There it is. See it?
Yep.
Pretty much just did a 90-degree turn and it's going back from where it came from.
Huh.
No, it is a helicopter. It's not a plane.
Yeah.
Uh,
Dang.
It's got weird lights, man. I've never seen that shit before. That's not a police helicopter. That's something different.
What's in your dog shit there?
Mm-hmm.
And then you gotta put that.
I didn't go outside. I didn't go on the grass, man. It's telling me not to walk in the dog shit. I didn't go in the backyard.
Yeah. It happens.
Oh, yeah, it does sometimes.
Wow. Well, let's see. Yeah, the sun's starting to come up here. Speaking of, let's see if I can catch a glimpse. Oh, yeah, and I see some pink coming up with it too.
It's coming straight away. The neon pink's coming.
Yeah, a little bit of it. I can see it. It'll be more in a little bit, but yep. Man, oh man. Well, brother, I'll probably be on later today, or later in the evening or night, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not working this weekend, thank goodness. So, yeah, we'll do this again tomorrow. How long were you on with Patrick?
I think it was 5 hours. I think it was.
I mean, yeah. So you were on pretty much the whole time with him.
Yeah, I think so. Pretty
Wow,
much.
so
Yeah.
you've already been on for like 8 hours then.
Yeah. I
Yourself.
work harder online than I do at work.
Right. Well,
No,
yeah. All right, man. Well,
All right, bud.
thanks everyone for being here, Bolt Gun, West Texas, and
Yeah.
everybody, Jennifer, Rick Swain and Plane Drifter, Maverick, everybody that's been in here chatting and having a good time. Joe Dirt, David Wolf,
Love you all. Thanks for coming.
Paragon Oxide, all kinds of our favorites. Yeah, just keep coming back, guys. This is ME Anonymous. It works if you work it. Anyway, God bless you all, and just repent, prepare, and watch and share the truth until the end. And
Yeah.
hang in there.
Talk soon, Tommy. Thanks, mate.
Yeah, much love. Bye, Jennifer. Bye, Matt. Hang in there, brother.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pray for you. Everybody
Yeah,
pray
thanks,
for
brother.
Matt. Everybody pray
Love
for
yeah.
Australia.
Pray for you too, mate. Love you.
Pray
mate.
for my hood. Pray for my hood. All right, guys. Much love. Take care.
See you later.
Bye bye.